Do that. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? Let's let everybody pour in. Let's let everybody pour in. What's good, Jelly? What's good, Dez?
What up,
What up? What up? What
everybody?
up? What up? Post
I
that.
was doing
Post that. In the chat. Let them know we live. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, y'all.
Yeah. Pouring in, man. They pouring in. Let's go, y'all. Share that, share that, share that. Make sure y'all post this on Twitter. Make sure y'all reposting. Go to that share button on the bottom. It says share, share to Twitter. Share to Twitter. Let them know we live.
I'm trying to figure out which one is inaccurate. Because it say 9 on here
But
and it's 2 on here.
nah, I think the Twitch is right. Twitch is right. Yeah, the restream is wrong.
That's why we don't need to be looking at that.
Yeah, I'm on Twitch right now. I see it's
Which
nine
be wrong
nine
too,
people
though.
in the chat right now. Yeah, sometimes Twitch is wrong too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, already on it. That's what's up. Thank you, my mod, BK Jelly.
What's up,
Y'all know what
y'all?
time it is. We waiting for the other guys to get in. Once they get in,
Yeah, yeah. Everybody, man. We got a good show for y'all today. We got a guest that we bringing on and stuff. So it's gonna be a nice show today.
Book, what's up, Book?
What
Hurry up
up,
with
man?
the
How
hot
y'all
fire.
doing? What
Uh-huh.
up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Everything good with you?
Yeah, everything good.
You just
You
came
know.
on the show to eat? Nice. Nice.
Nah,
I like
I
it.
had last minute. I didn't
Oh,
really have
yeah.
much to do.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
Chris, can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was in the back. I knew you could. I knew that's what you was trying to do. You was in the backstage. So
Yeah.
I ain't
Yo,
want to
can y'all
get
hear me?
frustrated.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
you
You
can
can
hear
hear
you.
us?
All right,
Yeah,
boom. Cause I was in here before. I kept saying, "Can y'all hear me?" But nobody answered. So,
yeah.
Oh no,
You was
no,
in
you
the
was in the stage. You was backstage.
backstage.
okay, bet.
Yeah, yeah, you good right now though.
So yeah, this Big Steppa, we gonna let him give his socials and stuff out. So he got a lot of information, man. So he got a lot of information.
Word,
And
word.
y'all know how we do iron sharpens iron, so we like to keep it tough, keep it tight. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Step. Tell them all your socials and tell them where they can find you at.
Right.
yo, I'm Yahmassiach Israel. I mean, that's my name. That's my actual handle on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and everything. I don't got a YouTube yet, just because I be busy. But I'm about to put that together. I'm about to put the whole situation together. But it's Yahmassiach. It's my first name, Yahmassiach. But if you put in the Big Stepper, you should be able to pull me up.
He's all over Google.
Yeah, it's not hard to find.
So yeah, and the reason why I didn't make my handle the Big Stepper because that's easier. I made it my name Yahmassiach is because I am Israelite by understanding. You know what I mean? I believe that I'm one of the people with the Bible. I heard you talking about that before. We can get into it. You know what I mean? But I really believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I am. You know what I mean? One of the Most High's chosen people. You know what I mean? And it's my
Hard.
responsibility because of that designation to bring righteousness back into the world. So I kept my handle, my name, Yamashiach, so that when other Israelites see me or follow me, they can hit me up as Israelites and know that I'm gonna give them open. I'm just gonna let them in. You feel me? Like if you're an Israelite and I understand that we got the same understanding from there, then I'm gonna treat you different because that's my responsibility.
Right.
That's for sure, right there. That's for sure. You don't know the battles I
Yeah.
go through with these guys. These my brothers, but boy, we go at it, boy. We go at it.
Nah, but for real, like I understand anybody who, you know, got a different perspective. I got understanding for that. You know what I mean? Because
Mhm.
I understand why people would say that it's something that they may not want to believe in or whatever the case may be because they had
Right.
different experiences than I had. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's a
right.
thing,
Right.
man.
Right.
Everybody got a different opinion, and the thing about it is, it's universal truths and everything. So we all right. You feel me? There is no right or wrong, really. There's only varying degrees of the same thing. So at what point does hot become cold or cold become hot? That's a matter of perspective.
That's
You feel me?
subjective.
Right.
So if
Right.
I,
Right. Right.
got low iron, for example, then I may say that it's cold at 65 degrees. But you may say, man, that's the perfect weather. And we're gonna sit around and argue about who's right or wrong when there is no right or wrong in the situation. They're just varying degrees of the same thing. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like a lot of the problem is. And like I watched this dope ass live today. I actually joined it and I was gonna have a lot to say, but the space was so argumentative that I didn't even say nothing. And I just let niggas argue. Because that's what niggas want to do, then that's what they can do. Because everybody want to prove that they right. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these even gurus, so-called gurus on Instagram, it's like, man, I'm reading. I've been doing this shit for 15 years. I'm looking at your information until you get that same rigmarole that everybody's saying. Like you're not stepping. You're not really doing this shit. You're not really like putting this shit on. You're just reading something. You're a nerd. You're reading something, and then you're now, oh, this is a great read, and then I tell y'all about what I read. But when these motherfucking police pull you over, nigga, you pulling out an ID. You feel me? Niggas talking about discharging debt, but then they can't show you their mansion. They can't show you their fucking Mercedes or their Bentley. You feel what I'm saying? It's like just a whole bunch of yapping on the Instagram because niggas can get some money. They can get some fame off of just saying something.
Right.
My shit is steppersonly.com. Because we don't talk about the shit that we've done and we standing on business. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna get nothing from me, never no video, no nothing about nothing that me or one of my steppers have done and verified and certified through the crew. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about theory, we're talking about what we actually did. So
Right.
That's
So you have a whole bunch of people behind you that has followed in your footsteps?
Yeah, for sure. I got like with the steppers, I probably got about like 50 people on my little Telegram group, you know what I mean, who just share information back and forth. And honestly, I want to say something to my Telegram group, man. I gotta be better than y'all. I gotta give y'all more information. I just let them pass information to each other, but I don't really actively post in the Telegram like I should because I got another group called Discharge Masters where there's only like 10 people in that group, but we actually focus every day on discharging debt. Like that's our whole thing. Because see, all the people in my crew already got their statuses. We already stepping on police and judges and shit like that. Like that ain't nothing. That shit done. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So we're not gonna talk about that. So what we talk about is the future. You know what I'm saying? We don't focus on the present because we living in it. You know what I mean? So we only trying to crack a whole different code. You know what I mean? So the people that's in the main Steppers Telegram, like 50 people, they're all working together to like, figure some things out. You know what I mean? But the ones that's in the Discharge Masters group, it's 10 of us, and they all show me a certain level of aptitude with the knowledge, you know what I mean? And that we're working together to really crack the code, you know what I mean? And make us free financially and shit.
Right.
That's the goal.
Oh yeah,
that's
but
what everybody came for.
Real quick. But to answer your question, I probably put on like 100 and something people on the do not detain list. Like, so it's not, to me, it's not like a question about if it could be or not. I done stood on business. I got mad stepper stories to tell, you know what I mean, about what I've actually done dealing with police. And then I put on people, like 100 and something people. And that's why I know the difference between the stars. Like, well, how you get 3 stars in your passport or 4 stars in your passport, 5 stars in your passport. There's no document that tells you that. I just know it because I put so many people on, and everybody I put on, they come back and tell me what they got. And then I was able to look at it and come up with a logical decipher of how it works based on experience. And that's why stepping is important. That's why we step we actually are doing it.
Right.
Oh, yo, hold on. Let me put my headphones in so I can hear y'all a little bit better.
Do your thing. We ain't even. We just.
What's good, Pink Cookie?
We letting everybody flow in.
What's up, Cupcake Queen? What's up, y'all? Come on, pour on in.
Brother got a lot of information I'm trying to hear.
Hell yeah.
All right, boom. Locked in. Let's get it. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I bet.
Yeah. Like 11 in the chat right now. Appreciate all y'all being here.
Yeah.
We're waiting for a monkey and for Rex to come in. They get here.
They coming through. They should be here. Right.
Shout out to everybody who stopped to that karaoke last night. I think that was lit last night.
Yes, sir. So, yo, how's your day going? Steppa, man, what you did for Memorial Day?
Oh no, I don't celebrate this white man holidays, man.
Oh,
Hey, tell him again,
okay.
bruh.
My
Tell him
bad.
again,
My
bruh.
bad.
Family.
Neither do I,
See,
bro.
I be fucking up because I be telling him, yo, Merry Christmas, and he be like, oh, I don't celebrate that shit, and I'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
my bad, I ain't mean to.
I be having to
Just no
correct him all the
disrespect, you
time.
know what I'm saying?
And no, that's all good.
Lord.
But you gotta understand that traditionalism is the issue. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same traditionalism of Christmas, Memorial Day, Halloween, whatever the case may be, that makes us have our babies in hospitals and create birth certificates and social security cards and make our children wards of the states and create a Strawman for
Right,
them. I mean, that puts them, has the ability to go to jail. It's the same perspective. So when you shift, see, all is mind and mind is all. You know what I mean? So when you shift your mindset, you shift your results. It's not about filling out an application at the State Department for a passport so you get a get out of jail free card. Now, we were
right,
stepping on shit before we had this passport. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about no jail. You know what I'm saying? I do. Nobody wants to fucking be there. You know what I mean?
right,
But I'm not gonna allow that shit to make me scared of motherfucking police and judges that don't really have the authority over me when they public servants and the money and shit that we spending every day and what employs them. It wasn't for the man, that we the people, then they wouldn't even be able to have a job. They hear that somebody come rob my motherfucking house, I got a call for you to be an investigation because police don't stop crimes, they solve crimes. You know what I mean?
right,
They're not here to fucking protect you. They're here to do an investigation about what some shit already happened to you. You know what I mean?
right.
They servants, they're working. Like you gotta give the police the same respect you give the nigga that's working at McDonald's, bro. Give you fries. You feel me? I respect you as a human being. I'm not gonna disrespect you as a human, but you can give me my fries. Like I pay for them.
Right.
You're not gonna discuss about the fries, man. You're gonna give me the fries.
Yeah.
So that's all it is, bro. It's all perspective.
That's what's up. Waiting for a couple people.
What's up, Boop? Don't you be quiet in here tonight.
Right, talk, man.
I'm not. I don't want to interrupt him. I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna just
Cause you young, bro. This is something you can take an
This
advantage
this
of.
is some good knowledge for you, bro. I wish I would have known this when I was younger.
Yeah,
Me too.
for real.
Me
It
too.
change how you move.
It's
I
really
mean,
about young niggas is gonna get it though. You said we wish we had it when we were younger. If you really believe that, you put yourself in position now and they start putting these young niggas on. I mean,
Yeah.
let's respect it, bro.
For a fact.
I mean, I kind of feel you on them that holiday joint. I truly, to be honest with you, when I came over to the States, I never heard of Christmas or none of that until I started living maybe like a year or two after I started living here, bruh. I only celebrate four holidays a year, and that's Mulud, Eid Mubarak, Eid al-Fitr, and Ramadan. Those are literally like the four holidays that I celebrate during the year.
But this thing
So
about it, you miscategorize it and miscompartmentalizing them by calling them, holidays. Feel me? Those is cultural references. You know what I mean? Like when you do Ramadan, that's something that's based on a whole nation and a people based on their cultural and ethical operations. You know what I mean? It's different than saying that some fat white man came down a chimney,
Yeah, that is.
all red with some presents. You feel me? People take Ramadan mad seriously and fast and sacrifice for it. You feel me?
yeah,
So that's just the difference. Like those are not holidays. This scam they run on us in America is the holiday shit.
Yeah.
And so I just said we can have things that we do as a culture of people and we do collectively as a group that we can respect and honor. And then we got other things that are only done give us a traditionalized state of mind so that I can almost like, as the government or not even the government really, boy, it's really more the international bankers for real. But whoever we talk about So, I mean, if I'm looking at my business, which is the whole United States or the whole world, and seeing how I'm operating, then as many people celebrate Christmas is as many people as I got in the whole scale of everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got them, they're not on the do not entertain list, they're not discharging no debt, they're not doing nothing because they're still celebrating Christmas. They're still in the traditionalized thinking. They're operating the way that we train them to operate. You know what I'm saying?
I know
It's,
that.
I can see what's going on with the whole world based on how traditionalized your movements are.
Not only that, it's a monetary gain for all of the companies during those quote unquote holidays. Like that's the whole point of them even promoting it, marketing for it. They changed their whole schedule just based on these quote unquote holidays. It's all for their
I mean,
pockets.
let's bust it down. You know what I mean? If we're gonna talk about the monetization, then where it should start? It starts with January. You know what I'm saying? We talk about January 1. Boom, that's the first time. It's New Year's. That's the only party that's still my year. Yeah, I'm gonna do February. That's Valentine's Day. I mean,
Valentine's Day, yeah.
with that. Boom, boom. Now you got March, April, May. You're pretty much into the end of May where you won't got really nothing. But that's that
You
springtime
got you
with the
got
weather
Easter,
celebration.
you got Easter, you got in March you got spring, whatever happens in spring that they do in springtime, but then you got Easter, then in May
Yeah, but Easter.
you got Mother's Day, then you got
You got Mother's Day. You got
You got Father's Day.
Father's
no,
Day is
it's
in
no,
June,
no,
I wasn't
and maybe you got
Memorial
it's
Day,
today.
Memorial
Memorial
Day.
Day,
Yeah.
Boom. So you got that. Boom. You got June. It was Father's Day, whatever. July 4th. You know what I'm
4th of
saying?
July.
And every month, you know what I mean? It's leading up to it, right? But the big days is in the end of the year. Why? Why do the big money days happen? When you got October and Halloween, niggas, motherfuckers go crazy for Halloween, bro. Mad
Yep,
costumes, mad candy, like it's a big
yep.
thing. Thanksgiving, that's huge. Mad dinners, mad turkeys, mad chickens, stuffings is mad. You know what I mean? Then you got Christmas, right? So the reason why those last three are the biggest ones because it's the temperature, bro. People
Oh
are
yeah,
reclusive, guard
yeah.
themselves. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? In the colder season. So in October, when it start, that's when the bite really start happening. That's when the hawk start releasing. That's when we give you Halloween, and then boom, 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 you feel me? And then it's still cold in January. So
Right.
that's why we get the first. And then Valentine's Day is super big, bro. I'm saying February can be one
Yeah.
of the days
They be
close.
getting ready for that shit months in advance.
But
Yeah,
even before those,
I'm buying you a bag. I might spend 20 bands on a bag for you. So I'm
Uh-huh.
e-
in. Feel me?
even
So
before those holidays really got established, though, they was people would around those times they would start to hoard their resources because the winter was coming.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people
Even
tend to spend more money in the wintertime than they did in the wintertime back then. You would
Yeah.
yeah,
hoard
that's
your
even
resources.
like the same thing with Christmas. Like Christmas, that like at I think here at the mall, they start putting up the Christmas lights and stuff, all that stuff like November 1st. As soon as Halloween is over, they put up all the Christmas like trees, all that shit like up in the mall,
Yeah.
and it's like 2 months before the holiday even starts. Like they put all
Yep.
that shit up. Then the commercials start coming out right after, you know what I'm saying, right before Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving is really when everything starts to, you know,
it's
come
the
through.
That's where they gotta really push the thing, cause you gotta think about it, bro. When it's spring, summertime, bro, and it's lit outside, everybody feel good. It's no, you don't have to get me to spend no money. Like
Right.
I want to spend, I'm outside, I'm maybe out, boom. When it's cold in the crib, and chilling there, I have to force the dollars. But why is that important? Because when the new year transfer over, that's where they give you what is it at the end of November after Thanksgiving, they do Black Friday.
Yeah.
People
Right,
think
right,
it's
right, right, right.
racist. They talking about black people. That got nothing to do with black people, bro. Black
Mm-hmm.
Friday got something to do with going from the red, which means the negative, to the black, which is the positive,
Okay.
for
New-
January 1st. This
Yeah.
year, you feel me? So I gotta give you October, November, December, the best holidays, the most money spent, so that as a corporation, I can go from the red to the black before the next fiscal year.
And they never sales until those quarters are over with. They not even they basing everything based off of those quarters.
Yeah, like the whole business is basically off the last 2 years. It's like no matter what my business does, I know I can at least go from the red to the black by January 1st. If I,
Mm.
you know, if I get on customers during this time frame, and you can see in normal business, bro, as a t-shirt company, you feel me? All year you can sell 100 t-shirts a month, and in the last 3 months you'll go to 500 t-shirts a month. You know what I'm saying? And then go right back to 100 t-shirts a month after that. You feel me? So it's from the lowest business to the highest business. And the reason that we took this first part of the podcast to talk about that is to let you know that everything is commerce, everything is commercial. So they're running so many commercial plays on us, getting so much millions and billions of dollars off of us, and all we gotta do is put ourselves into the commercial capacity. You know what I'm saying? We gotta fix the books. Even when I see people talk about discharging debt, right? Niggas be saying, yo, do a 1099 A, 1099 OID, do a 1040D, you know what I mean? Then do a 1099C to cancel the debt. But all of that is to balance the books. You know what I mean? Because on those documents, when they ask you who's the lender, who's the borrower, you feel me? You gotta say that the United States government, or I mean, United States Treasury. You got company, man. You gotta say that the United States Treasury is the lender. That's the people that's giving the money.
Yeah.
But the borrower is the creditor, bro. It's not you. Like if you go get a Benz from Mercedes-Benz company, then the borrower who's getting the money is Mercedes-Benz company because we are the person that signed a promissory note. So when we sign a promissory note, we're the only real money. And because based on House Joint Resolution 192 and the Emergency Banking Act of 1933 and the Bill of Exchange Act, you know what I mean, and all these different laws that was passed with money and modern money mechanics into the Federal Reserve System and all of this, it's like there is no money. They took all the gold from us in 1933, gold and silver, right? So we used to have money was backed by something, but now it's not backed by nothing. It's only backed by the perception of the people that say that money is real, and then it's backed by our signatures, because we are the currency. Currency is like a current. A current is based on energy. We are the energy that writes the money and makes the bread. So people think that when they go to the bank and get a loan, right? Say you want to get 20 banks from the bank. You think in your mind, just for this easy example, is the bank got $100,000 in a boat somewhere. So when you come to get a loan for 20 bands, you think that they go from 100,000 to 20,000. I mean, excuse me, from 100,000 to 80,000 because they gave you 20. But in all actuality, what happens is when you sign that promissory note, you made the money. So they go from 100,000 to 120,000 because you gave them new money that didn't exist because they said there is no money. We make the money. We the only power, the only current that's flowing to give currency because there's no gold or silver backing it, so it's backed by us, living beings. You know what I mean? So then they do fractional reserve banking through modern money mechanics and put a 9 times multiple on the bread. So when you take what the original amount was 10,000 and you put 9 times on, that's a 10 times of the bread. So if it's 20,000, it really makes 200,000, right? Now all that's in that account, and that's where the 1099A come in because you're either going to do an acquisition of those funds, or after 3 years, if you don't claim them funds, then you do an abandonment. Well, no, they do an abandonment. They say that you abandoned those funds and they get the bread. You feel me? So it's just like this shit is so deep. The system is so entrenched. You know what I mean? And it takes you to really have knowledge and understanding and really move through it. You know what I mean? That's where what the steppers and what we're doing is like we're actually going through the steps to really try to crack the code in its fullness. You know what I mean? And I know that y'all may not even know what I'm talking about, but I spoke in this way so that cause this is being recorded. You feel me? And like this is real game, so anybody who see this shit later, they can take the words that I said, even if they don't have the understanding from watching this now, take what I said and go take the information and go do your own studies.
Do your own research, right.
I'm dropping the breadcrumbs for other people to even do better than what I've done. I'm just giving y'all the game that I got. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not about everybody really fully understanding now, because I'm talking to y'all on a podcast. So we can have our own separate conversations to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. But this is just for the recording for everybody who's watching, who may watch in the future, to get the breadcrumbs so that we all do our part to crack the code. 'Cause I'm not a guru, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a nigga that's trying to get free. I'm doing it about many things. You feel me? But I don't have it mastered. You feel me? I can tell you what I have done though. You feel me?
Right. We got brother Rex that just came in. Introduce yourself, Rex.
Peace, bro. Darius Rex.
You out here,
Your shit.
yeah,
What happened?
and I'm trying to, what's what it is, the one with the blue with the background, I like your background. What's up, bro?
Thank you. Peace, bro. Yeah, nah, I seen some of your TikToks and your videos. Definitely, definitely a rabbit hole that I went down. Definitely a rabbit hole I went down. The information is good. It's useful. It's a lot. It's eye opening.
Yes.
And when you actually go into like some of the documents and stuff, you talk about stuff like I know, like the Emergency Banking Act. All this is stuff like I knew about that. Part of it I learned through mainstream education. We learned about FDR and the New Deal and certain laws that were passed, and the way that they put it out during the education is this is what was done to get us out of certain parts of our history, from whether it was the Great Depression or different eras that we went into. These laws were passed during different times for these reasons, but regardless of when they were passed or what they were used for, a lot of them are still on the books today, and if used properly, they can do what you said.
Absolutely, bro. And the biggest thing is, people like a lot of times in the comments and shit, you know, like you're saying, like, can you do this? Can you do that? Is this real? And it's like, yo, listen, just read the laws. If you read the laws, understand the laws, you implement the laws. It's not about if you can or can't do anything. You can do anything you want. All you have to do is take their laws, put it in the right proper format, and they have to adhere to the shit that they wrote. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's how brainwashed we all are. We don't know we can do stuff. We sit around.
Yeah.
Talk, I didn't know you can do that. I mean,
No.
like, we just don't know.
I won't even say brainwash. I think it's more complacent. I think people are just
I guess
comfortable.
that's a better word.
People have
Yeah.
gotten to a certain level of comfortability, whereas doing all that it's just too much work. It's just
Yeah,
too
but the
much.
thing about it is they come from because they're brainwashing. That's what I was talking about in the traditionalists. You know what I mean? Like, why do they do these things? Why do they come up with these holidays or these operations? It's because they're creating a certain person. Like when you even look at Rockefeller and Rothschild, when they came up with Rockefeller came up with the curriculum, and the Rothschild funded it with the school system. But the school system was nothing but to create chattel to prepare you to be a worker. You know,
Right.
it's like if you really, I mean, I understand like you don't have to work in the system and get your money a different way. That's like the worst thing they want. They want you to straight chattel, then they want you to die. That's why they put in your food all fucked up and pesticides and GMOs because they want you to work just enough to get to the age of retirement. And then they want you to die off. You know what I mean? They literally got population plans and everything. You know what I mean? So it's a whole system put against that. So when you understand how severe their attack is, for me, I have to do this. I have to operate at a certain level because it's like I'm being ambushed. I'm in a full blown war. If I get a speeding ticket and I go to court, I'm in a maritime war flag is sitting in the courtroom when I walk in. Like when I cross the bar, I'm crossing into a war-based territory. You know what I'm saying? Bombs over Baghdad on my ass. You feel me? Like this is how everything is in the system. So now once I understand that, it's like okay, I have to actually operate in a defensive mode. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to know what's going on and operate in such I can't just live life comfortably, like and just be free because the life, and liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that was promised to me was taken away from me. But the thing that's so funny about it was taken away from me through acquiescence, through consent. And so I took it away from myself. So now I can bring myself back into the proper jurisdiction. Well, honestly, my parents took it away from me when they birthed me in the hospital on the social security number and they wards of the state. You know what I mean? So that's why I home birthed my last two kids in my own motherfucking hands, like slave days. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how heavy I'm shit. You know what I mean? I know that they're doing to my kid, taking my kid away from me when I birthed the kid, and they take it away from me for like 2 hours, and they're giving them murder shots and giving them all this, stuff. They're implanting stuff into my body and making them a fucking water state and making them a corporation. Damn, what kind of man would I be to still have a baby in the hospital? And I'm not carrying no man who did it because, he was just uninformed. But now you've been
Right.
informed that you have responsibility to do better.
Right. Right.
I think I think it's crazy. I didn't know all of that. Like you say, your kids don't got birth certificates and social security cards.
Nah.
That's dope, though, bro.
So,
That's
but
dope.
what they do, so I mean, I want to say because that's something I told myself I was going to answer differently when you asked me, just because that's a whole governmental situation and everything like that. But the way to keep your kids protected is they don't access to certain birth certificates and give them trust, and they are foreign trust a 98 number, and then you operate that trust in their full name, and to every name your child, you put a trust in that same name, and utilize that number as their social security number from that point on. Then you also have to have a live birth record that you create.
Right.
So I
I've
had
heard
my
of that. Yeah.
when I, yeah, when I had my children, I did have a doula that was certified, you know what I'm saying, in systems to be able to give birth. So she was watching and making sure everything went smooth. And something went wrong, she would be there to, get everything together and make sure it was straight. But everything went right. So I birthed my children myself, right? But she's also the person that made my certificate of live birth. You take a certificate of live birth and utilize that as your birth certificate, and you get the little thing at the time, passports as well. We utilize that certificate of live birth, but then you forfeit to them a social because you give them an EIN number through a foreign trust, and they utilize that because when you register a foreign trust in whatever state, they take the trust off. So then your name, your trust name, Jim's Cleaning Service Trust. And when you register, it would just say Jim's Cleaning Service. So it's just your first and last name, or first, middle, and last name trust. When you register, it just says your first, middle, and last name. So now it's just something representing you with a dime-digit number that you can utilize in any type of commercial transaction.
Right. Wow.
I knew about that certificate of live birth.
Yeah, I've heard of that too. Yeah.
Because my daughter was born in Nova in Virginia, and I found out that your kids are watered the state to Virginia if you don't get that certificate of live birth. So when I found
Yep.
out about it, I went and got mine. I got hers. My daughter's mom went and got hers at the time, and we just didn't know. So I don't know who video I was watching.
That's lit. No, that's lit. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, that's what you do if you don't want to have your kids in the hospital. And I know I don't really talk about that much, you feel me? But anybody who want to get down on that, you can get down on it. But I'm telling you this, man, that take a real relationship with your partner. If you're dealing with, like they gotta really believe in you, and you gotta believe in them, and they gotta believe in themselves, Because Shorty was not scared. That's again with that traditionalized thinking, like we were taught to be for everything. You know what I'm saying? When you have a baby in a hospital, because I got 5 children by 4 women, I'm out here putting them seeds down. I got 5 more to have in the future, you feel me? But uh, with my first 3, they was all laying on their backs, you feel me? And I seen them scream and holler and smash shit. Some people had to get cut open and all kind of shitting on themselves and all kind of crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? That's because they're in the wrong position. So it's like I'm paying money that I put in my children in a position, and they're not even doing it right. You know what I mean? When I birthed my children, me and my mom was standing like this, like standing up. You know what I mean?
You
We was
let
holding
gravity do its job.
up. Yeah, and just pushing it down was way more easier of an experience. You know what I'm saying? So we paying people to even put ourselves at risk, making this shit more painful than it even has to be. And it's like we believe that we need them to do these things when we went through mad years. I'm talking about like hundreds of years of having babies without them.
That's how they birth people in Africa and the Middle East.
That's how
Right.
they birth everybody everywhere in the world. Like it's like it's just natural. Like you don't need somebody else. Who you are with gods. You feel me? And that's the thing
Right.
about it. Like I want to talk about the paperwork and how to put the paperwork in. But the reason why I'm having the type of conversation I'm having with y'all, because I want everybody to know that it's about vibration, bro. Because I got cases that I beat with no paperwork, with just the vibration when they just sing God. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and I only can say that because I've been in court when I was not godly at all, and I got smacked. You know what I'm saying? But I've been just before the passport. You know what I'm saying? When I just was like, yo, they pulled me into the joint, asked me to take a plea, and I'm not taking a plea in any circumstance. I'm gonna show y'all what it is. I'm gonna show y'all God up in this bitch. You feel me? They say all rise. When I came in the joint, I mean, first of all, I'll give you a background. You know what I'm saying? When I be in, if I ever go to jail, I got motion. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm a little person for me. I'm like 6 foot tall, but I'm like 140 pounds. You know, I'm skinny man. You know what I mean? I got power and infrastructure anywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Because of the way my mind works. So I go to jail, I got shit organized. You feel what I'm saying? Got enterprise. I'm putting niggas on game. You know what I'm saying? So this is something I'm gonna say out here when a popular public figure, anybody can say that this shit is alive and tap in at any time. You know what I'm saying? Deny this. You know what I mean? But I mean motion, bro. Like I mean, I'm talking about having men ordered, letting them know who they are. You know what I'm saying? This is before I ever got the passport when I was losing, because I'm in jail. If you're in jail, you can't even really be telling people but too much because you fucking in jail. You're losing. But I was going down my path of understanding. That's at this time, right? So I'm in jail doing this one time, and then I got like 10 brothers or so. You know what I'm saying? Like who come to me every day, sit down in front of my bunk, and we really getting in about this knowledge, this information. You know what I'm saying? So people I'm doing on a regular basis. I got my pops on the outside, he an international ambassador. You know what I mean? And he put in paperwork, he doing things to try to get me out. Right? This is before the passport. I'm telling y'all what happened before I got it. Do not detain it. So he put in paperwork and shit to get me out or whatever. You know what I mean? So he put in certain paperwork, he to get me out, and they didn't let me out. So he put up him and about 10 homies. They got guns, like and demanding, like release me right now. We got this. And I put the paperwork in. We done told you what the status was, and now it's business. So I'm like, oh shit, and you can literally hear on the megaphone outside, like in the jail, so the whole jail going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now that Hampton Annex, so this is Hampton, Virginia. Now in the Annex, it's like a cool jail. You know what I'm saying? Shit smooth. You don't have regular cells. You like in a, it's almost like, you feel me? You're like in this big ass lectures across the walls. In the middle, it's the shit. You know what I mean? And then you got the little gym area because you can't like hit somebody with a weight or whatever because everybody's in one space. So there's like just a little machine you can use to just get up, right? So that's how that shit set up. And then it's like this glass window, with a rectangle where there's a guard sitting there watching. So like shit don't really get busy in there unless you get a nigga get into something. It happens there, but it's not like jail. You feel me? So
Right.
say what he say. They stand on some 70 shit. You know what I mean? Like busy don't let my son out. You feel me? So what they do, my name, we all heard. And outside they call my name, and then like that, they about to let me out. So I fucking around and give him like $200. I'm like, 100 so you know what I mean? I told y'all
Is it
this
breaking
how
up
we
or
stepping through.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Steppa, you
popping
breaking up a
shit.
little bit. Nah, you breaking up a little bit.
All right, what about now? My headphones might be about to die. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, that'd be the best feeling in the world. You join, you lead the joint. Who want this commissary? What this guy?
Oh
All right,
hell
I'm
yeah.
going back to the old school strings real quick. See if this shit gonna work right.
That works. That works. It
Yeah, that
sound
mic,
better.
whatever you
It
did,
sound
whatever you
way
did, your mic
better.
sound crisp in the motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Old school. He went old school. Oh no.
Y'all can hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, we
perfect.
hear you. Yep.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you loud.
Look at
Alright.
that. They make you pay all this money for this shit. Don't even work right. So
Right, right.
wires are
Yeah.
always better, bro. Wires are always better.
Yeah, literally,
Sorry
bro.
to say, we hate wires, but
no, but I seen a little video that said they joint be fucking your brain up and everything. That was sending frequencies of radiation to your mind and all kind
nah,
of
yeah,
stuff.
the five
Yeah,
G frequency, all of that
yeah.
shit. Yeah, bro. I know.
So
A
boom, like
lot
I
of this shit
said,
is
It's
fucking us up,
energy
man.
blockers is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. This shit deep. You know what I mean? That's why I like. That's why I'm going in on y'all podcast. I looked at y'all shit. I said, oh yeah, they really talking. So I'm gonna really talk some real talk on this joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Oh
all
yeah.
right.
Nah,
So
get your
boom.
plane, you fly, bro.
Absolutely.
So boom. So my pops, he do on a megaphone. He like, yo, let my son. Niggas got guns out. He like, yo, let my son out. We gonna get it popping. So it's like the 70s. I'm turning in jail. You know, telling everybody what's up. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna keep. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know what I mean? I went. To, you know what I mean? I came in there. I'm like, all right. I see what's going on here. So I did my Caesar move. You feel me? My man Sydney, I got that, you know what I'm saying, a big, strong homie. You know what I'm saying? Sydney, I locked in with him. You know what I'm saying? We got locked in first. You feel me? I said, yo, this is the move I'm about to make, bro. You know what I'm saying? When I'm open to put this business down, all you gotta do is stand beside me. We gonna make this shit shake. You feel me? So me and my nigga Sydney start putting shit down in there and I had a good experience in this jail, right? So I'm in there, you know what I mean? And the emotion is good because I'm already having a little issue with the guards because I'm like organizing the guards. It's like we not just regular niggas in the jail right now. We getting organized. We talking. We making plans. You feel what I'm saying? Then my
Yeah.
pops they come up and they demand my release. You feel me? So I'm thinking that I'm about to be released when they call my name and say you getting out. I'm thinking I'm actually getting out of jail. You feel me? So I give all my canteen away to everybody. You know what I mean? Like yo, just here. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas got like mad more time. I'm gonna just get this to y'all.
Right.
But I'm not going home, bro. They take me and they put me in this van. I'm like, all right, maybe they got to transfer me from Annex where I was to maybe like where I, first started. But I don't know. I'm driving in the car in the van. I'm like, yo, we going across the bridge. I'm like, this is not seeming right. You feel me? So what actually is happening? They transfer me because my dad and them came out. They already said I was kind of like organizing a riot. Is with the charge they put on me. They said I was organizing a riot because I had organization inside the jail, and then I had the homies outside the jail demanding my release. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm about to be released, but I'm actually getting sent to 23-1. You know what I mean? In Portsmouth. You know what I'm saying? Lockdown. You know what I mean?
What?
That
Yeah, bro.
23-1
Yeah,
shit
I'm
is
going
the
to the
worst.
real jail now. You feel me?
That shit is the worst.
So the
So
thing
they
that was
trying to
put,
shut you up, basically.
yeah, exactly, bro. You know what I mean? But they
Segregate.
didn't let me go. So I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? It was crazy. So I'm thinking it felt like an L to me, right? And it's a
Right.
reason I'm telling y'all all of this. And it's a point for the story. So I go into the 23 lockdown. Now, mind you, I didn't even tell y'all when I was in jail before. I tell this a different story, but I got to fighting and banging out with these dudes in DC for something, right? Like right before I went to jail, like right before this happened. So like I had got my jaw broken during this fight. You feel me? So my shit was like wired shut. So when I went to jail with my fucking jaw wired shut, you know what I mean? Anyway, you know what I mean? So I'm in jail, wired shut, and I got motion, but then I get transferred to another, you know what I mean, to the 23-1. And when they put me in the 23-1, they put me in like the medical environment because my jaw is fucked up with wire shut. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in there, I'm talking to mad old ass. It's just nothing but old people in there. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like in wheelchairs with full gray hairs. Like these are the people in jail that, you know what I mean, just like y'all about to die soon, so we're gonna just put y'all in this nice spot. You know what I mean? But it was 21. So I thought I was going to a more maximum prison, but I actually went into like Fluff Town, you know what I'm saying, with the old folks. But I was there, they all talking to me about the word, you know what I mean, about manhood, just about principles. They've been in jail for mad long, you know what I mean? So it's just mad information I'm getting. But I'm only being able to talk to them when they release us for food time, which is that 1 hour. So now 1 hour, I'm talking to the old heads, but in the 23, I'm by myself. And I literally just got just me and the Most High. So I'm praying, I'm meditating, I'm really like focused on myself. These are the things that we should do on a regular basis that we don't do because we're doing all these distractions: social media, TV, women, children, jobs, bills, stress. All these things keep us from connecting with our higher self. You know what I'm saying? Going from Malkut, which is the gut chakra, to Keter, the crown chakra. And that's with the Christ-like consciousness. And that's what we all supposed to be here to achieve. But we got all these distractions in life that keep us away from that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to get 7 days of that experience of really tapping into myself because when I was released for that 1 hour, I was talking to the OGs. They was like, in that hour, you get your consciousness, like, because you're by yourself, you're like kind of bugging out, for 23 hours. So when you get out, the conversation that you have kind of leads you back into the experience you had with yourself at that 23. So the conversation I have with the old heads is all introspective, it's all spiritual, it's all deep. You feel me? It's not like when you in regular jail, you watching TV, you talking about the bitches, like and the money, just like you telling niggas about what you did outside and all that bullshit. But when I was in this jail with all the old heads and some other shit. So the point is, after 7 days of that, I was in a much better space to face my oppressor than I would have been if they didn't lock me up. That was actually a blessing. That's exactly what I needed to have the vibration necessary to beat the case. So after 7 days of just straight introspective thinking, straight, all I had was the Bible. I was reading, I was praying, I was meditating, I was studying, I was talking to the OGs. By the time they let me out for my court date, I'm floating. It's like I'm walking on the ground, but in my mind, I don't even feel like my feet touching the ground. You know what I mean? Like when the dude who takes me out of that jail, once they take me from the Portsmouth jail, took me back to the Hampton jail for my court, the person that walks me into the courtroom is the same person that locked me up. And when he locked me up, I told him he made a fucking mistake. And at the end of the day, he would see what time it was. And it happened to be that he was the same one that brought me back into my next court date. So I'm floating. I'm on God time. I'm feeling like David before he fought the Goliath. You know what type of man it took? What type of understanding it took for David to fight Goliath or for the Hebrew boys to walk into the fiery furnace? And I don't give a fuck if that shit is true or not. We don't get into the Bible logistics. It's just if that story is inspiration, I'm like, yo, that's my forefathers. These niggas had real pressure. Jail ain't nothing. Let me compare to that. You feel me? It's all we got to face out here in Babylon is some fucking jail. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gotta fight lions. We don't gotta go into fire. We don't have to fight giants. We just gotta
No,
face
you're
this
right.
fucking, you know what I mean? Face other niggas in jail. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? So I'm in there. My vibration's crazy, and so I'm making a point. The whole point of the story is about vibration, because niggas be looking for get out of jail free cards, man. This passport is a get out of jail free card if you step in on shit. If you don't give a fuck, and no matter what, you're not taking nothing, then you lit. But if you think that, oh, I signed some paperwork and I can just give it to the cop and he gonna listen, when he was been trained in protocol and procedure, you know what I'm saying? And code. He hasn't been trained in law. So you have to instruct him. You have to tell him. But you got to have the heart and the spirit to do that. You can't be
Right.
fucking scared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the vibration was lit. Yeah. And then the same dude who locked me up is the same dude that brought me into the court. I'm like, oh yeah, and then you about to see God, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show you what the fuck comedy is in here. You feel me? So when they walked me into the court, instead of walking me straight to, you know what I mean, to the bench, they walked me to the right and they put me in this room. You know what I mean? So I got two bailiffs beside me, and I'm in the room sitting. As soon as I come in the room, the persecuting attorney come in with two cops, and they come and offer me a plea. I'm like, yo, I'm not taking a plea in any circumstance, yo. I don't even want to hear the plea. It doesn't matter what it is, because I'm gonna show you God in here today. You can shut the fuck up. So they just walk away. Boom. All right. So now they take me out the room, and they probably gonna offer me the sweetest deal, sweet, because the only time they really offer niggas please, unless you got like a super drug ring charge or some crazy shit, is because you already beat the case. They already know they got you beat, but they're gonna try you to see if you go contract with them again, right? So I'm not taking no plea under any circumstance, man. Fuck off. So then they take me back to the front. So then when I come in the joint, now mind you, my court date was set for 10 a.m. But they brought me into court at 9 a.m. So none of my people would be there. There would be no witnesses and shit. I come in the joint, it's like 17 police in the jury stand, right? So I'm not in the regular court. I'm in like the secondary court upstairs, which is actually like a little jury stand right here. So it's like 17 police officers sitting there. It blew me. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like,
What? That's
yeah, I
crazy.
swear to God, bro, it's crazy. So they sit me down. I got juries beside me on both sides. Special attorney right here. We waiting for the judge. I'm sitting there. I'm chained from my wrist, my waist down to my feet. Boom. So they say all
But ain't
rise.
that? But sorry, ain't that for violent offenders?
I mean, I don't know, bro. This is what they did to me. I mean, but they said I was inciting a riot, so maybe I could be classified as a violent offender because I was a
Right,
revolutionary. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying?
right, right.
So, so they say all rise, right? Everybody rise. What I do? Slump down in my shit like this. You feel me?
A nigga try to pull me up. The bailiff try to pull me up. Bailiff try to pull me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not under his. I'm not. What I say? I'm not his. He's not my honor. I'm his honor, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's standing for me. You feel me?
I'm
So
sorry about that, y'all. Huh?
yeah. So he's standing for me. So then. So this is when the judge come in. He come and sit down. So once he sit down, everybody else sit down. So then that's when I. So then that's when I stand up. I stand up on the record, you know what I'm saying, so that I could be heard because, you know, when you stand and you speaking, you got to stand up to be heard on the record. So once everybody else sit down, that's when I stand up. I mean, and then my pops did already put in revocations and injunctions and all kind of shit on the record already, you know what I mean? But that shit has been put in before and niggas have went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's a tie between the paperwork and the vibration until you get the actual do not detain status, right? So then I stand up and be like, yo, I am, you know what I mean? He called my name and shit. I tell him I'm not that. I'm actually the secure party creditor, living man, and power of attorney over that corporate fiction, here to represent that in any matters or proceedings necessary. You know what I mean? And then he literally like looks over me and like, yo, he calls the name again, calls it. And I'm like, yo, I answer again saying the same thing I just said, repeat myself. And then he looks to the prosecuting attorney and say, this man has challenged jurisdiction. You know what I'm saying? Because you got, before you can adjudicate a matter, you have to establish jurisdiction. It's authority first, then it's jurisdiction, then it's adjudication. So if you challenge, if you show that you are the authority by challenging the jurisdiction, then they don't have the position to adjudicate the matter. You know what I mean? So he goes to the prosecuting attorney and he like, yo, this man challenged jurisdiction. You know saying 3 times in the court. You know what I'm saying? You know we can't move forward without that. So do you have any evidence to prove jurisdiction in this matter? And the prosecuting attorney is like, nah, I don't have it right now, but we feel that we can get it in the next 30 days. All we ask is that you put them back in, you know what I mean, for 30 more days. And then on the next court day, we're going to establish jurisdiction. And he was like, nah, he's already been in jail for this amount of time. Boom, boom. I dismissed the matter. Boom. Right? So I walk out, I show niggas God, mad police, everybody sick, they mad. Boom, that was lit. But then there's mad times, bro, that I went to court and got my boots smoked. I mean, I went to court for speeding tickets and things that didn't have no jail time associated with it. But because I was trying to stand on sovereignty, they gave me contempt of court and I did 10 days or 30 days or whatever the case may be. So I've been, most of the time I went to jail. Sometimes it was for, you know what I mean, driving on a suspended license. Sometimes it was for getting caught with bud, weed or something like that. You feel me? But most of the time it was just for contempt of court. Me trying to be a sovereign, not really understanding the way the shit works and getting smoked. So the reason why I took the time to that whole story is that if you get heavy in the law and you understand your position, then your vibration will be so crazy that you'll put them in fear of with the recourse that you could put on them because they all got bonds, man. They all got claims, you know what I'm saying? And it's about, you know, they so used to people complying and not fucking giving them smoke that they don't have no fear of us at all. We some bitch ass niggas. They Debo and we smoky on the block, tucking our fucking chains. You know what I mean? I'm tired of that shit. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's all about enforcement and what you're gonna do and how you're gonna stand. So when you stand, you got the power, you got the vibration. They believe that you're gonna have the enforcement because there's all kind of laws that say they can't do what they're doing to us, but just 95% of America allows them to do it. So we got to take the steppers from being representing 5% of all Americans to representing 35% of all Americans. It don't even have to be 90%, you know what I mean, or 100%. If 35% of Americans really stood on business, these motherfuckers would be the most, oh, thank you, sir, ass cocksucking motherfuckers you ever seen, bro. But it's just the fact that we still live in fear. You know what I mean? So that's why the do not detain passport is so important because when I was doing the story I just told, I was trying to tell y'all how I was stepping back in the day before this shit. You know what I'm saying? But now we don't even go to court. I don't get no issue, no smoke because I went from doing my own paperwork to doing their paperwork. I work through the government now. You know what I'm saying? It's a fight towards the government, which what I mean by that is the federal corporation.
But there's also a de jure republic state that had the Constitution, that had all kind of freedoms, and you could attach yourself to that. But you was born, you was given a birth certificate and a social, and you was incorporated. That's why any mail you ever get in your life, any mail, if any of y'all got mail right now, I will bet however much y'all want to bet. If you go get that mail,
It's
your
all
name
in
is gonna be in all
capitals.
caps because you're a fucking
Yeah.
corporation. You feel what I'm saying? So that's one of your statuses that was created for you. So me, before, like last year, I had a dual citizenship because I got my United States passport and I had that now de jure state nationalism, but I still had the federal corporation status too because I didn't rescind all of those contracts. So when I be posting on TikTok and tell them, yo, you can get on a do not detain list by just filling out this application this way. But if you don't rescind all your other contracts, it's gonna be difficult for you to operate the way you need to operate because you got like a dual citizenship. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah. One is a corporation and one is a citizenship. The Devor citizenship.
No, he's saying
Oh,
if
is
you
it?
don't get rid of both your contracts, you'll be a citizen of the United States and a citizen of the United States of America.
Right. But I know, but it's two different ones. That's what I'm saying. You got to get
Yeah.
rid of one of
right?
them,
Because
the
when
corporation.
I say I'm a non-citizen, I'm not saying fuck America, I expatriate. I'm saying I'm a non-citizen of the federal
United States.
corporation. You know what
United
I'm
States.
saying? But I
Right.
am by saying I'm a non-citizen of, like, if I come to you with a birth certificate, I'm proving to you that I was born within the territory. So you know I'm not a foreigner from China or something. So that's already established that I am America of some sort. But am I actually an American, state national, a man on the land, or am I a federal corporation, a straw man floating in admiralty in the sea? Because y'all gotta understand that, like, law doesn't really have a definition other than like control and structure. The reason why they call it law is because it's land, air, and water. That's the real definition of law. You know what I'm saying? Is that those are the jurisdictions that control this space that we're in. You know what I'm saying? The way that we live in America is controlled by the land, air, and water laws. You know what I'm saying? So land laws are common law. That's why you say you're a free man on the land, because the land, you know what I'm saying, is where you can build on the land. You know what I'm saying? You can build a house. You know what I'm saying? You can drive a car. You can plant seed. You can build everything off of the land. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to survive and be free. You know what I'm saying? And move the way you need to when you're stuck in water. You know what I'm saying? So the
Right.
land is common law. The water, I skipped the A for a reason. The water is admiralty, maritime law. That's the law that we deal with in these courts and shit. When they tell you that constitutional law doesn't adhere here, because this is not a constitutional court. This is an admiralty, maritime court. That's why the flag got the gold fringes on it, because you're in a wartime, maritime environment. You know what I mean? So we want to get from the water back to the land. Now, how do we do that? We do that through the air. Now, what's the air? Air is trust law. Now, air is oxygen. Oxygen is the most important thing. Like, you could live your whole life and never drink no water and live for 50 years, 100 years probably. Who knows? You know what I mean? But if you don't have no oxygen for like, what, 3 minutes or something, you could
You
die,
dead.
right?
Right.
Right? So it's so important, but we can't see it. It has no visibility in our physical capacity, right? That's the same thing as the trust. The trust is the invisible entity that owns anything. If you go through the Edgar system, the EDGAR system, you can see the trust for any business. Every single big corporation in the United States is actually ran under a trust. Everything is trust. This conversation that we're having right now is a trust. You mean?
Okay.
Because there are three processes to the trust. You got the grantor, the person who has the asset, who establishes the value. Then you have the trustee, the person who operates that value for the benefit of the beneficiary, the person that gets the value, right? So I am operating as the grantor, you know what I'm saying? But also we could look at it as y'all operating as the grantor because y'all got the platform. You feel
Right.
me? So this platform allows, I'm gonna go with it that way. Y'all are the grantors because you got the platform that allows for the value to be extracted and given. I am the trustee because I'm actually operating the value. I'm giving the information. I'm doing most of the talking. You feel me? And the beneficiaries are the viewers. You know, who are benefiting from this exchange that we're having. So
Right.
everything, like even like your woman, you and your woman, that's a trust. You feel me? You are the value. You're the grantor. You got billions of souls in your nuts. You know
I,
what I'm saying?
I thought you skipped the
Yeah.
A for like a completely different reason.
You said what?
I thought you skipped the A for like a completely different reason. Like I was thinking of something else. That's why you skipped the A. Like I
I
thought like I thought you skipped the A because it was like it's air, it's oxygen that we all share, and it's not something like they can take away from us. Like
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. You got to understand the metaphorical, uh, you know, position of the conversation. Like, so when we say land, air, and water, that's general. But when I say that land represents constitutionality, common law, air represents trust, law, and then water represents maritime admiralty, law. You know what I mean? That's I'm utilizing the metaphors of land, air, and water to talk to you really about common law, trust law, and admiralty law. So, like you said, the air is something that we all got to use to survive. You feel me? But we can't see it. We don't understand that it's
yeah.
not tangible. It's the same
Nothing you
thing.
can
Hold
own.
on, my point is you have to use the trust to survive.
Mm-hmm.
We're not utilizing the trust to survive. So that's why we're in the water. And if you want to
Right.
get out of the water and get back to the land, then you have to use the air to do so. If you want to get out of admiralty law and get back into common law, you have to use the trust to do so. Now, what is the trust? The trust is called the Sesta KV Trust. And if you look up the Sesta KV Act, it'll tell you, like it's a literal act written by the government that says it's the Sesta KV Act of 1666.
How do you
And
spell that again?
cool, man. I've been sipping a bit. Sesta K.
Mm-hmm.
CESTI
Mm-hmm.
and QUE.
I see it. Yeah. Sister K
It's the K
Trust.
trust. Got
Yeah.
it.
And then Act of
He who
six
lives.
of 1666.
Yes.
1666.
Yeah, you gotta see the actual act document to come up. When you read the act document,
Oh
it
yeah, I
talks
see
about
it.
how you are set into the water. It tells you in admiralty, you lost at sea. You're not just lost, but you're
Yeah.
lost at sea, which means you're lost in admiralty law. And if you don't claim yourself to be found by the age of 7, then they put you out as lost. You're dead. You're descended. You're dead. You're lost in the sea, and that's why they have operation over your trust. You know what I mean? And that's why I say if you want to get out of the water back into the land, you have to go through the trust.
Uh, what and you know when a trust it says right here when a trust is created it is done for the benefit of a specific individual who is identified in the trust document. The trust is the person who has an equitable interest in the trust. Legal title of the trust, however, is given to the trustee. Damn.
Now, that's not uh Sesta KV Trust of 1666 starts though. If y'all got a screen share or something like that, you can
Yeah,
show me what you're
share
Yeah,
looking
your
at.
screen. Share
You
your
can see it
screen.
there.
yeah. Let me go here. This thing right here. Y'all see it?
No.
You gotta bring it in. Bring it in, Mojo.
Scroll up to the top of it, very top.
Can't
Yeah,
see
like
that.
that's not the actual Sesta KV Trust Act of 16. Like put that into Google. Did you put in the Act of 1666?
Oh, the
Act of
Act of 66. Yeah.
1666.
Yeah.
Got it right here. Was it act? Yeah, here. Let me share my.
Cause at the top of it, you're gonna see like a little symbol. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like a little logo, and then it's gonna say the title, and it's gonna go into it.
S. Dot 1666. The Vital Act of. Nah, this is different.
No, it's a Sesta KV Trust. Sometimes it'd be a little difficult to get into.
Yeah,
You
they
know what I'm
try to
saying?
trip
And the
you
thing
up.
about it is, like, I'll go into that. Like, we could do another one, or my next video I post will be about it. Like, I'll pull it up and show niggas or
All
whatever. But
right,
like,
cool, cool,
I'm
cool.
giving the drip. Like, I'm telling y'all what it is. Go
All
find
right,
it. You know, do your
all
research.
right,
You know what
cool,
I mean?
cool, cool.
All right, so that wasn't even what I put to be talking about though, for real, bro. Like that's just all. We was waiting on people, and I got to start talking. And I went on kind of like a little rant or whatever, but that's all extra. That's all the shit that we working on. You know what I mean? That we do on a regular basis. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because that's what I'm actually doing right now. I done moved past status and all of that, so it's not as passionate for me. That's what I talk about on TikTok, because that's what I know. That's why it's guaranteed, like undisputed. Like I've already done it and stood on police. But all this other shit, this is what we're gonna be doing in the future. Let's talk about what we actually can do for the people right now. You know what I mean?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So how do I start this? All right. So I'm gonna talk about being a white man in America in 1776. To be a white man on the land in America in 1776 was the greatest achievement that you could possibly have. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was literally the highest level of freedom in the world. You know what I mean? If you look at China's diplomacy, India, Australia, Russia, whatever, like, they didn't give anybody the amount of freedom that a free white man in America had. You know what I mean? But before 1776, what the lie is, you know what I mean, what they tell us is that they brought all these Africans from Africa, you know what I mean, into America and then, made slaves out of them. I mean, but that's a lie. And they tell us that they put blankets on Indians who was fighting and they killed off a whole America. The whole nation. They said they killed off the whole indigenous population of all 50 states with some blankets. And they say that they brought millions of Africans from Africa to America in order to build up America. But when there's a current that goes from from America to Africa, which pushes against the boat. You know what I'm saying? So if I was trying to travel from America to Africa, I can get there 3 times faster going from America to Africa than I can from Africa to America, because there's actual current that goes against the goddamn boat. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like it's economically impossible for Black people in America to be Africans. That's ridiculous. The fact that we believe that for so long is just craziness. You know what I'm saying? Because we really start talking about it, it's fucking impossible. You know what I mean? To kill all 50 states, the whole United States with the people with some fucking blankets. That's crazy. Like, even COVID didn't kill us all. Like, come on, like. But anyway, so
it wasn't just the blankets though.
Yeah.
Then what was it? And then we had wars and all of that. But we talking about
Forced
I'm from Virginia,
migration,
bro.
starvation. It was a bunch of things that the Americans used to get rid of the native population.
In all the states, bro. I'm from Virginia, fam.
Yeah.
I'm the first state
Yeah,
that they ever came into.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I'm saying?
wasn't. It's not like it. It's not like it was now. It wasn't like there was 10 million Native Americans running around America. They was spread out. The tribes were spread out. The tribes warred with themselves.
Yeah, they were nomadic. Most of them were nomadic, and not only that, the disease that the Europeans brought over here, they didn't have the antibodies
Ravaged
to
them.
fight them.
So okay, so look,
Ravaged.
they brought a special disease, right?
No, they didn't
It
bring
wasn't
special
special.
disease. They just brought European diseases that
Yeah.
natives
I
had
get
never
it. No,
been
no, no.
introduced to.
Right. But it got to be special because it doesn't hurt Africans, but it hurts Indians.
Smallpox
They
would have
would.
hurt Africans too. No, it would have.
Yeah.
They would
So
have.
why the Africans didn't die out with the rest of them?
Because they weren't as exposed to it as the natives.
How? They was in fucking boats. You know what I'm saying? And then when it came to the boats, they was in the same position as the Americans. So they was I roll with white people who got these so-called diseases in a closed, confined compartment from a whole trip from Africa.
I mean,
Didn't get the disease. Then I got off the boat and got with the Indians, and I still didn't get the disease.
If you look at old manuscripts or layouts of slave ships, the slaves weren't kept in the same compartments as the white crew members. They were kept even lower than the crew members.
I know, but they still had to deal with them, though. They still have to
Yeah.
go down there and
And
deal
what you're
with that.
saying,
You
but
know
what
what
you're
I'm
saying
saying?
also implies that every ship that came back, there was somebody on board who actively had the smallpox virus. That probably
I mean,
was
I mean,
not.
if it was so big that could kill off a whole fucking country, like, come
Well,
on,
it's the
bro.
same. It's
And
the
that's
same
and that
reason.
and that
It's
would
the
have been
same
much
reason
later
why
anyway.
today, when you travel to foreign countries and stuff, you can't bring certain foods and stuff
Yeah,
because introducing a new species, whether it's a virus or
Yeah.
fruit,
right.
any new
We-
organism to a new environment, that environment has the chance of being ravished by that organism, especially if it's an environment where that organism is going to thrive.
And
So
think
if you
about it like
bring a disease or a virus to new healthy people that have never ever had this disease and are completely healthy, even more healthier than the people who are carrying it, that virus isn't going to just thrive. That virus is going to fucking become a
ravage.
god.
Yeah, but that it's gonna affect the Africans the same way it's gonna affect the Indians, though,
That's
bro.
like when you go to Mexico, bro. Everybody in Mexico can drink the water, but you cannot.
Right, but the Africans couldn't drink it or the Indians couldn't drink it. That's my whole point, bro. You know what I'm saying? Is that if the disease was strong enough to kill off a whole fucking country of people, it's strong enough to kill off the
I
fucking
wouldn't say it was
Africans too,
just that.
bro.
I wouldn't say it was just that. I probably
No,
would say
just
that it's a combination of that, and
yeah.
then with their infrastructure being weakened like that, they left them
Bro,
open
And
to
then
it.
bro,
and then you also
bro.
got to look
I
at this
don't look like
too.
no African, bro. I'm not
Huh?
no African, bro.
What are
My
you
shit
talking
is
about?
red, bro. I'm brown
I
and
ain't no
red. I'm
African
copper.
either.
I'm
I don't say
copper,
it.
bro.
I ain't
You
no
know what I'm
African
saying?
either.
I'm an Indian, fam. This is Indian. You look at them big bug-eyed Africans. I ain't, you know, they look different than us. Ain't no
I
African I seen that
agree.
look like me, bro.
I've
You know
seen
what I'm saying?
Africans. I've seen Africans that look like Americans.
No,
Not
sir, bro.
everybody in
Where
Africa
at?
not the
I
same, bro.
have.
They
Everybody in
look
Africa
brown.
not
They
the
may be
same.
brown skin, but
Nah,
you can tell. You can
bro,
see them,
Wait,
man.
Everybody in
wait,
Africa not the
I
same,
spent
bro.
months
Look
on
at Book.
ships.
Look at
I,
Book.
wait,
Book.
I
Book
wait.
spent
African.
What,
months on
bro?
ships.
What?
Book
Book's
Wait,
African.
African.
what, bro? What,
Book is
bro?
Book.
African.
Book
Hold
comes from
on, bro.
out there.
My man was
Boo.
born and raised in
Uh,
Africa,
Yeah.
and so
But
was his
that's my
family.
point. Listen, you could be born like Elon Musk is African. So what we talking about? Elon Musk is not American, bro. He is a full-blown African citizen. He was born in
That's
Africa.
fair.
So what are we talking about?
That's fair.
He's
That's
South
fair.
You know what
African.
I'm
Yeah,
saying? We
African
talking,
from
come on,
there.
man. We talking about original people, bro. We're not getting into the, you know what I'm saying, to the
Well,
little
no.
intricacies of
Because no,
things, bro.
the point I'm making though is that you're saying that black people don't look like Africans. I'm saying yeah, they do. I've been
Nah,
there.
I have too, bro.
I've
And what
been
I'm
on
saying,
ships.
there are. What I'm saying, listen,
I've been on ships that have spent months in Africa, like literally months. I've been on ships back and forth, Tanzania, Kenya, and the
and bro,
Middle East.
and
I've seen
it's not even
Africans that
about
look like
looks, but on.
Americans, bro.
And I'm
I've
sure,
been
bro. And
mistaken
I
for
seen,
African
and
because
listen,
I
I
know
seen
Africans
white
that look
folks
like
that look
me.
like black folks. We seen all kind of things, and that we can point out, uh, uh,
I'm
you
just
know,
pointing out the
those
fact that
things
you
in
said
anything.
black
But I'm
people in
talking in
America
general, bro. Yeah, to
don't look like
me, I mean,
Africans, but they do.
this is we getting into opinionated talks. So I mean, this is different than you know what I'm saying the facts of
So
things.
so let
But in my opinion, bro, you know what I'm saying, when
let's
I look at a Nigerian, a Guyanese, a Ethiopian, you say
Sudanese,
they
Sudanese.
they
they
don't
don't
look the
none of them
same.
look like me, bro.
But they don't look like
They
each
don't look the
other though,
same.
bro.
Exactly, fam.
They don't look like each other. But the
And
only
they
point
don't
that
listen,
proves is
and they
that
don't call each other Africans, bro. They
That's a
don't call
big
each other
continent.
Africans.
That's a big continent over there, and everybody over there wasn't a slave, bro. And
You
that's
can
what I
have
No,
say.
dark skin.
no,
Look, no, you literally have dark skin, heavy set, healthy Nigerians. Then you have dark skin or light skin, tall as fuck, skinny Kenyans. Then you have pygmies who are short as fuck. Then you have the San people
That's
in the
because they're
south
not
who
all
have
the
the
same
kinky
people.
eyes and they look Asian.
no, absolutely.
Africa
Listen,
runs the
they don't even
gamut.
call each other Africans. They
They
call each
don't.
other
They
whatever
don't.
they are.
It's
They call
the
each other
nationality, yeah,
Whatever
Nigerians.
tribe they
Yeah,
come
yeah,
from. Yeah.
yeah.
exactly, bro. You know what I'm
That
saying?
that term
But the
that
point I'm
term
making about the
Africans
continent of
will you
But
Africa is the
you
nations
only
run the gamut of people, and they
you
have
only will
all
hear
characteristics over there.
somebody call it African everywhere else around the world. Where
Other
I'm
than
from,
there, right?
where I'm from, bro, you say where you're from, bro. Like for me, for instance, for me being Algeria, somebody will in Africa will ask me where are you from, and I'll be like Algeria, and then they'll be like, okay, I'm Sudanese, Moroccan,
Hmm.
etc., etc. They won't ever
Yeah.
say, oh, I'm African. That's why, like, I've never witnessed that because over here it's so much like even with like religions like somebody the other day this happened to me literally just the other day. Somebody came up to me and said they first asked me what my name was. I was like Muhammad, and they were like, oh, you Muslim? I was like, yes, I am. And he was like, oh, so you speak Muslim? I look at them like, what? Like that's not a that ain't no you know what I'm saying, ain't no language or nothing. Like it's just like it's a
Americans are
religion.
very ignorant to what
They
goes on
are.
Yeah,
outside of
that's
America.
why I was like, I felt like it was very like, that's low key kind of
I mean,
disrespectful.
I
But
don't
you
think
go
it's
anywhere,
ignorant. I think it's uneducated.
yeah, it's
That's
That's
what
very
I
what
think.
that's what
uneducated.
ignorant means,
That's
bro.
what it
It very
is.
is
Well,
because
yeah, but like,
because
yeah, they're uneducated to the fact of what these people are and
That's
stuff
because
what
like
bro,
that.
ignorant
Yeah,
means. You
because
don't
it's
bro,
know.
That's
you
like
go.
that's
ignorance
like
is
even
that.
you flex, even you call
Ignorance is
yourself a
not
Puerto
knowing.
Rican.
Ignorance
Even you
simply
call yourself a
stated.
Puerto Rican, but that's only based on the language that you speak
But the thing is, bro, you go anywhere
and who
else around the
conquered you.
world and you ask somebody that, they gonna think like, oh, he's disrespecting the fuck out of me. That's how they look at it. It ain't like over here where it's like, it's a normal thing where people like, are all around are asking like that specific question. Like people are normal to that fact. But it's like you go anywhere else.
We can't hear you.
Oh yeah, we can't hear you, Big Steppa.
We can't hear you, Stepper.
Did he mute? Oh, there
Can
you go.
y'all hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are.
yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I said, what question are you saying? What question are you
So,
referring to?
the other day I met somebody through my brother and he asked my name and I was like Muhammad and he was like, "Oh, you're Muslim." And I was like, "Yes, I am." And then he was like, "So you speak Muslim?"
Okay, that question. But most people don't really ask that question. That was you referring to somebody who just they had a level of ignorance, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying about us in America, generalizing like Africans as a one title instead of saying that there's multiple countries inside of that continent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's because we have been generalized. You know what I'm saying?
There.
If you we should answer the same way. You know what I mean? So if you ask me what I am, where I'm from, I should tell you I'm a Virginian. I should tell you that my nationality is a Virginian. Like, and if you're from New York, you would say I'm a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Texan. If I'm from Texas, and that's our way of saying I'm a Guyanese, or I am Guyanese, or I am,
Right.
Nigerian, or
Right.
whatever the
Right.
case may be. That's our way of identifying our separate countries inside of this continent of America, because each state is actually a continent. I mean, excuse me, it's actually a country
Country.
Yeah.
because they have their own jurisdictions and their own laws and their own bylaws. And that's what I'm saying. Like when we had the United States, it's because 50 sovereign states decided to work together. You know what I mean? But they are still their own sovereign states. That's like why Texas is going through a process now to deny the CDC money, the digital money they're coming out with, and come up with their own Texas money that's backed by gold and silver. They're in the voting process of that now because each country can have their own operation and move outside of the Fed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as American people, as we start identifying more with our own states or our own countries, then we will have more of an open mindset to, I won't look at Africans as Africans. We'll identify them all as their country. You know what I mean? So I kind of agree with you on that stance of
Yeah.
ignorance. But my point is, and I'm really standing on this, bro, that the reason why they got us to be thinking that we Africans and gave us the lie narrative of the transatlantic slave trade, which makes economically impossible and makes no logical sense. The reason why they did that is because they know that at some point we're gonna wake up from our slumber and come back for the land that's owned to us, and they want us to go and try to get some land somewhere else. They know that we all woke up and try to get the land back from America. They fucked. So tell them that they slaves. Tell them that they Africans. But no. Really, every one of us got land deeds and land patents, and our forefather, our great grandfather, owned land and shit. He wasn't a slave. He was an Indian fucking boss. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And the most slaved our people ever been is 2020 motherfucking three. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? In the last 400 years, bro, since they've been selling us that fucking lie, that narrative of slavery and all of that bullshit, nigga, we had all of this shit. We was running everything, bro. That's the
Yeah.
real story. Is that we had power. We always had power. Mansa
Yep.
Musa back in the day used to walk through different countries and throw gold around and crash their whole economics. They'll crash their whole economy. The dollar would not have no more value because there's too much real value sitting around. And since then, we've been running shit. And then these niggas, these new niggas in this last 400 years, we've been slaves. It's the only time the melanated man been slave been in this 400 years.
Yeah.
Selling us that fucking lie.
Yes. I
Your wire is. I think your wire is unhooked again. Couldn't hear you. Ah, you got it.
You can hear me now?
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Damn, so
So
that ain't got, what's the last
um
thing I heard?
Now we heard all of that. We heard everything.
We
you
heard
said.
all of it. We heard all of
Yeah.
it.
So you do believe the slavery actually happened in America? You don't think slavery happened in America?
Nah, I mean, I don't think it was. I don't think it was the way they said it was. I'm saying so. Even I can't say if it did or it didn't. Yo, I would think that the most enslaved our people ever been in is right now. I would say if I had to answer one way or the other, I would think that the whole slavery is a lie. All of that shit is a lie, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we've been in power. This is our land. We had all of this shit. We got land patents and all kind of deeds and trust and all kind of things. And they
So
made up a
why would
narrative that
they?
we bought into to get it to take all of this shit from us. You know
Why
what I
would
mean?
they?
Because see,
Why would they?
for me, my name, my last name, yo, Corey is my original last name, and that shit is of English nobility, yo. I can show you what my daddy did, what my granddaddy did, what my great granddaddy did, what we did all the way back to the 1400s, man. Running shit, stepping on shit. My whole fucking generational bloodline is stepping on shit. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about no African slaves, bro.
Push
So
that
you're
narrative
saying you're
about them.
English. You're saying you're English descendant.
Yo, bro, yes, bro. I mean, you look up my last name, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I took when you Google Corey English nobility, you can see a roadmap of what the Corey did. So then from there, I gotta go from my grandfather. You know what I'm saying, to go from his father. You know what I'm saying, his father, and attack and make sure that the ones that's talked about on Google is the ones that's come from my lineage. We went through that process. You know what I'm saying, and we found out that I literally before we came here, we came from English nobility. So now, what does that mean? What do you think about that? Because you understand that when 1776, when we separated from the crown, we separated from English nobility, bro. That's literally the separation from the crown is what in 1776 when we did the Declaration of Independence, that was about separating ourselves from the crown. So I ain't cracked that whole code yet. But what I'm saying is I realized there are black nobles from England that before all this 400 years
That's
of
true.
slavery story was happening, bro, there was black England nobles that was fucking running shit and going from state to state traveling, bro. So it may be have transatlantic travel might have happened because there was black steppers who had money and
So
power and resources
do you
traveling the world.
do you put any consideration into the Inquisition?
The Spanish Inquisition.
Mm.
I mean, yeah. Like what's it?
Because
Listen, look, like, look. Okay, hold on, wait a
The
second.
English wasn't a big part of the slave trade in the beginning. It was the Spaniards
Yeah, yeah. I know we
the
have to see
Inquisition.
right there. When I brought up English. English is talking about. I brought up England because of what my name resonated to be. You know what I'm saying? Coming from English nobility, but also in England, when we made the Declaration of Independence, we bought ourselves away from England. Like I'm telling you that all of that shit is bullshit to me. That all of that slave story.
Hold on.
So when
So
I'm talking about that,
you
go
don't
ahead.
think there were slaves in America? There was
Bro,
never.
hold on. There were
And
slaves.
I'm not talking about
Slavery,
like mental slaves. I mean like physically. Hey, you work for me for free, and if not, you
bro.
get whipped and beaten. I marry you off to who I want to marry you. You have children. I keep
Agreed.
them and separate them and break up families and all that. You don't think
Yeah,
that
yeah, that
happened?
happened in a capacity. I'm sure, because slavery is a historic thing that happened
Right.
everywhere, right? But they say that this is the only slavery. They say that there was no slavery in human history that ever where they took the names and the identity from people. Because slavery
No,
was a
I don't
level
agree
of
with that.
servitude.
I don't agree with that.
Where,
No, I'm just saying
where?
I don't agree with. I agree with what you're saying. I don't agree that they never. There were other slaveries. Hold on, it's summertime, man. Um, there were other slavery where they took the names and they changed the names of people. There was.
Yeah, where?
Where when the fact
Where
that
I'm saying
slavery.
where in history do they say that they totally rewashed a person's identity and made them something totally
I don't know
different?
about rewash, but I think after your if your parents was the one that were brought as slaves, regardless of what capacity they was brought here, the grandchildren would be then assimilated to whatever the master was doing at that point. That no matter where you was as a slave, if you was in Spain at the time, in order for you
Yeah,
to,
yeah. I mean, no, no. That's the process that was created during this 400-year time frame. So there were
I'm
slaves
talking
that
about even
so-called dropped
before.
off
I'm
in
talking about even
Jamaica.
before the
Yeah, I'm
400 year
saying
time
where
frame.
though?
I'm talking. I'm using
I
the
mean, so I
Inquisition
could be
as an.
wrong.
I'm using the Inquisition as an example where they took Jews and they turned them into Catholics. They forced them to take to be
Sacrament.
Catholic and be Catholics. That's what they
Yeah, I
forced them
mean,
to do.
but
That's
yeah,
where
to
the
change
term
your
God. That's
religion.
what. Hold on, wait. That's where the term
Mm-hmm,
godparents come from. They would take
mm-hmm.
the children of the Jews that they killed and give them to a Christian family, and they would then raise them to be good Christians. That's changing who they are. then they would take those said children and then put them as over the slaves that wouldn't comply colonies on the west coast of Africa. That's why when you look on the west coast of Africa, all of those countries have Spanish names or Portuguese. They've had it for
They all had what? You said something about Portuguese?
right, like New Guinea
What's the last thing you just said?
and Tomé. These are places on the west coast of Africa that have already been colonized by the Spanish and the Portuguese.
Mhm.
That's why they already had those names. That's why when you even go to the continent of Africa, based on where they were colonized from, it depends on the language. You just listen to the language they speak. You go to Sierra Leone, they speak French. You go to New Guinea, they speak Portuguese. Everybody knows who they were conquered by because the language that they speak.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Because that's what you had to adopt in order to deal with your master.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with that.
And
Right?
a big
But you
part
still
about it, if you lose your language, you lose a big part of your culture.
you lose a
And-
big part of your culture.
Your
right?
history, your identity,
I have
because all that's passed down. You got to remember your language. These weren't people who had a ton of written histories. These were oral
Oral, yeah.
history.
Yeah.
These were audible history. So if I lose my
Mhm.
language, I literally lose my history.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well,
lose my identity.
But what I'm talking about is the story that when you become a slave, you get the last name of your master, and now
Based on-
you're no longer this. I
Based
beat your
on
name
inventory,
out of you.
based on inventory, you do get them. You may be in your group as a slave. You may be whoever you want to be, whoever they classify you as inside that group. But based on you being inventory, you take the last name of the place you came from.
I got slaves in my family, like in
too.
my history. I know who were slaves. There's pictures of them, and I can trace my lineage back to
Shit.
these slaves.
Shit,
They
my,
didn't
my
have the
last my
history.
last name used to be Curry.
They can flat out tell, hey, I mean, from the stories they've passed down, this wasn't their history.
Hold on, who said that their last name used to be Curry?
So that's me, Awesome Monkey. Yo, what's up, my man? I just got off work. My bad, I'm late, y'all. What's up? What's up?
Good. Peace, G.
How's everything going, y'all? I hope everything going. I'm hearing a great conversation because I've been listening in since earlier. But yeah, no, my last name used to be Curry. I'm half black and Puerto Rican, and we were used to be Currys. My last name was Curry. Now it's Rodriguez. But the Currys, we have our own land down in Mississippi. We have a church. We have a
oh
Y'all don't
man.
got Wi-Fi.
Can't hear
down
you.
So look. I don't want to get into the denial of the fact that
Oh no, we just
slavery
talking.
happened.
We just talking, bro.
Yeah, no, of course, bro. Listen,
Conversation.
yeah, of course. There's no offense here, right? So what I'm saying is we can look at the fact that something happened. You know what I'm saying? And they identified it as slavery. Something changed the dynamics, right?
Right.
And the melanated man on this planet is the only person that's targeted and like just despised and beat down into this level, right? Right. So I understand that something happened. So it's not about if or when or how long slavery existed. My point really was to the fact that even if we was enslaved before they came in 1776 or 1619 or however 15, 18, however back you want to backdate it from 400 to 500 years ago, we was in America already
I wouldn't argue that.
with wealth and prosperity, doing our thing, but in a more tribal way.
I wouldn't argue that. I wouldn't even say it was that
And the
tribal.
people that happened to be enslaved to go through whatever, you know what I'm saying? We're already here. That's the main premise. So I don't want to get off of the point I was making. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can go all day about if slavery happened or not. It makes sense that, something happened. We was in power and then we lost the power. But what I will stand on, the main point I'm standing on, is that we're not no fucking Africans, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't
it's
argue that
economically impossible. It is an impossibility for us to be African Americans, bro. That is impossible. That's the point I'm making.
See, I think Africans were here before
Yeah, I think so too.
the English and before
Yeah.
the Europeans.
And that's why I
Yeah.
say I argue that I would argue that it was tribal because I don't believe it was tribal. I think they had a strong economy. They were doing things just like any other country
Yeah.
you would have went to. They had homes. They wasn't all walking around
Right.
in teepees, and they had an economy. They had
But
commerce.
when I say tribal, I mean more culturally based
Yeah, absolutely.
than we are
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Right.
absolutely.
But they was economically strong though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They had resources here. They still have resources here. So I don't think that they would have needed the Americans for anything. It wasn't coming to do nothing. If anything, once the Americans got off them ships, they was in desperate need of help. Because the land was rejecting them. They had no idea what to do here.
Yeah, I mean, just being out in the sun, they were fucking
Yeah.
killing themselves.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They want nice weather, but they can't have it.
The best
thing
weather,
that
the
gives
best
everything
weather on the
else life,
planet
bro,
is
is
in America,
desert.
though.
Yeah, you get
I
off.
beg to say that America is Egypt. That's what I beg to say that America
Yeah.
is Egypt. This is really
Yeah, I heard
the
that
place.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
heard
I
bro, we
that
heard
got
that
too.
term before too, bro.
all the pyramids is here, bro. All the mountains. Like when you look at even if you look at the word, bro, when they talk about how, you know what I'm saying, they took Moses went onto Mount Sinai and he was able to look over, you know what I'm saying, all of the different lands and see, you know what I'm saying, all that, you know what I'm saying, he had power over. The mount and they say in Utah, what they call Yahuda, you know what I'm saying, is the tallest mountain. The
And then
so-called Mount
Memphis.
Sinai is in Utah. And they say that's where he was more than Africa. Because the Mount Sinai in Africa is like this tall. The one that's in Utah is like this tall. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and if you look at the Grand Canyon, the reason why you don't stop us from being there is because listen, I seen some research that said that you can get to Africa from the damn Grand Canyon. Like the shit is
I
so
heard
heavy,
that.
you feel
I
me?
heard that. Yeah.
So like, I feel like that everything that they told us is a
Yeah, I
fucking lie,
think
bro.
everything they
You
do.
know what I'm
I don't
saying?
think the world
I
look
do
like it say it
believe.
like they tell us it is. I think we can get a lot of places if we just go somewhere outside of the barriers that they give us to travel. Like if you
Yeah.
just went and walked somewhere, you might find out some shit out there that you ain't even know was out
Yeah.
there.
Right. Right.
I
Like for
Right.
real.
definitely, cause like how would you? Yeah, that gives me like questions too, cause it's like, you look at a globe, right, and you see that they image this all the continents being these shapes, and they have like but like on a reality, like you don't even know if that's like real or not.
Well, they
Like
tell you now that Africa is bigger than all of that stuff you see on the globe now.
yeah,
It's bigger than all of that
yeah,
now.
Yeah,
it
and that shit
is.
was all Pangea at one time too. It was all
Yeah,
one
like
landmass. You feel me?
at one
Right.
point, but the thing is, like that even like kind of still questions me because like, how did y'all know what Pangea looked like?
Guess because they didn't know. They had no idea. They don't know what it looked like now. That's why they tell you
That's,
that it's land
you
outside
know,
of here. That's how you know they ain't seen shit from space because you would know already what's on this motherfucker. You wouldn't be talking about this
Yeah,
land
that's
that we
facts
haven't reached
though.
yet.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
why it's
we can go
all
deep into the way the
bullshit.
shape of the earth. You know, what I mean, I'm a flat earth theorist. You know what I'm saying? I believe that there ain't no motherfucking aliens. That nobody can get through the firmament.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? But there is some shit that can pop up on our ass though.
yeah,
Even
out
though
the
that
water,
firmament is there, you
From the
feel me?
ocean. From the
water.
Yeah,
ocean.
I'm
that's
about
what
to
we
say
talked
you
about
Mojo's
yesterday.
best friend,
Right.
yo.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
Out
Right.
the
yeah,
motherfucking
that shit
boy, I
gonna come
tell
from
you.
beneath. But again, that's more the opposites, bro.
Yeah,
That us
Dad.
looking up in the sky when the shit gonna come down from the
Great,
fucking
yeah,
water, bro. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
absolutely,
And look,
absolutely.
Oh,
Wakanda really gave us the drift. That second Wakanda, I said, oh shit. They
yeah,
just told us what was behind under the spot where the machines can't go because the pressure's too deep.
Right,
When you
right, right.
pass that point, that barrier, that's what's a whole motherfucking world, bro. I really believe that shit, man. I'm not saying
yeah.
it's like Wakanda, like mermaids and shit, but it's something down there.
Aquarius,
Bruh, that
Godzilla might be down
Aquarius.
there. You know
you
what I
The
mean
night
mean?
they haven't, bro. One thing
you
you
said
have to know, in
Aquarius?
almost like 70% of the
the
sea has
behemoth.
never been discovered, bro.
It's like
Almost
90,
80
70% of the
ninety.
even
sea
guessing
has
with
never
that
been,
number, bruh. It's probably like
bro. They are. I'm
98.8888.
looking at I'm looking at articles. I'm doing research right now that says they are discovering all this shit that has never ever been. The shit is just popping up
It
from
ain't
They're
these
just
popping up.
recently
unknown
saying
It
it
places,
ain't
though.
bro.
That's
popping up.
only
That shit
recent.
been there. Undisturbed
It's
by
been there,
human
right? They've
hands.
been knew about
It's
it.
been there, but it hasn't been. It
Hey,
hasn't been up to the surface yet.
hey, bro, when we was talking yesterday about this, which one of y'all said that it's the same environment? That was hard. That was an
That
added drip.
space in the water.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why would you spend your time
yeah,
trying to go to space? First of all, the pressure in space would be 3 or 4 million times whatever they're saying that the ocean is. And if you can't
Yeah.
fuck the pressure of the ocean, then there's no way you going where you saying space has zero pressure. You know what I mean?
right.
You gotta get through so
But
many barriers, bro.
but you
Fire
know,
burns
but you were saying that you think about it, it's the same situation. If you was in the water as a group, you have to be in some kind of, or in space as a group, you have to be in a big rocket ship or some kind of big vessel because you can't breathe in there. You feel me? And then if you wanted to go out on your own into space, you would have to have a little moon suit on. It's
a,
the
Yeah.
same
a,
thing you have to do if you go in the water. You got to
diving
have a
suit. It's the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
It's
It's
the
the same
same
technology.
environment.
That's why NASA owns the biggest swimming pool in the whole world. The biggest.
And
What
that's
the
why
fuck they need a
NASA
swimming pool
has
for?
the contract for
And
the ocean now.
and the biggest motherfucking movie studio. What do NASA need the biggest movie studio for?
Bro,
And they buy the most helium.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
out of
That's you
everybody.
know why? Because they blew up the most fucking balloons. That's why.
Alright, so
But
look,
nah,
look, one thing I want to say real quick, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Is that I
yeah.
appreciate this is why I appreciate men having fraternal orders. I think it's so important. You know what I'm saying? It's very important that men get women and they lock down their lives and shit like that in that form, but they can't get too connected with the woman. Like they can't just be like, you can't lame out, simp out, and get married and just be with your wife and kids all the time. Like, nah, you gotta get with the men. But if you get older in life, you feel me? Sometimes you can't just kick it with the homies. When you get with the homies, it gotta be an organized time. So men just come together and do men business. But that's where that fraternal order come in. And that's why I appreciate what y'all do in this podcast. Y'all men who respect each other, who coming together, you know what I mean, to build one another and build the people who are watching. You know what I mean?
Hello.
And but the reason why I brought that up is because I made a statement that y'all didn't get with, or you know what I'm saying, didn't resonate with y'all, and y'all stood on business. And I appreciate that. That's what I like. That's how we make each other better, and you know what I'm saying, get on it, and everybody
This
respectful
is the
and what it
knowledge
is.
ball, brother. This is what we
Yeah.
It's
do. We
all
try to
love.
kick the knowledge in.
all opposing ideas, bro. Like I'm telling you, bro, we go
Right.
at it all day long. But this
Yeah.
right here, nobody, no matter.
Like Mojo's waiting for the aliens to probe him. So he fronting, acting like
Fuck
it's
outta
not. He
here.
not, but
That's their
Yeah.
thing. That's their thing.
So
Yeah.
before I want to say that before I said this, you know, that you know, when I think about what I said, all right, I gotta agree that at some point there was some level of slavery. And the only reason I can say that,
oh,
Bang, we losing you.
we losing you, brother.
Phone died.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think so. I heard the little beep in the background. I think it's phone died.
I thought that was Rex's shit.
Oh,
Well, he is plugged up to the headphone thing, and he not on the charger, so it could be
Oh, did he
that his shit
freeze?
died.
yeah.
It could be
It'll
his
get
shit
back in.
died.
It'll get back in.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
This is dope.
this was a good show.
Yeah, this
yeah,
is
this
dope
was
right
a
here.
really
Yeah.
good show.
We appreciate everybody that's watching.
Word.
We hope we get them back.
Stay
But,
tuned. Stay tuned. We still having a good
So, Mojo, you
conversation.
found a kindred spirit.
yeah,
That
boy.
nigga said,
I'm about to say that's your best
Mojo-
friend. That's your new
Mojo
best
found
friend,
a new
Mojo.
friend,
when he
He's
said
a
man.
that
flat
shit, I was
earther.
like, oh damn, this nigga sound just like the whole shit.
He's a flat earther, Mojo.
I'm a
I
flat.
ain't,
Your
bro.
best friend.
I'm not a
I ain't
flat
worried
earther,
about
though.
shit.
It
coming
don't
from the
matter,
top.
bro.
I'm
He
worried
believes
about
what you
shit coming from
believe.
below.
I don't know. I say I don't know. I know it's not a ball, but I can't prove it's a table either. You know what I mean? Like,
Bruh, you guys are best friends. It's like, no.
Sounds like y'all have this follow the same religion.
I get that too.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, didn't do that.
yeah.
Yeah, his phone probably died.
I think that's what
Found a
happened.
kindred spirit. Nah, it's good though. It's a good conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So I guess he was gonna get into what was your straw man, and then we got into a whole bunch of different subjects and stuff like that. But that's
No,
usually what we do.
I really do believe like we can definitely go deeper into the ocean now. I definitely believe that. Like,
I think you should do it.
Doing that megalodon shit.
I
Boo.
think you should
yeah, bro,
explore.
you seen the Meg? That's what makes me question because in the movie Meg, it's like I know it's just a movie, but it's
Yeah, it's
like
a movie. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I
The
got
premise,
my
I do. I
The
feel what you're
same.
saying, though, Book. The idea behind it, like there may be something deeper than you thought.
But the Bible talk about that though. The behemoth,
Uh-huh.
that big thing in the ocean. That why am I on the big screen?
Oh, switch it. I just go to just hit the I think this one.
I can't get my shit even
I
on.
got
Mojo
you.
on Broadway.
Oh, there you go. The behemoth talk about that. So it could be something bigger down there. But my only thing is that it got to be something that live for a long time because what would mate with that?
Well, whales live. Some whales can live up to like fuck 5,000 years or some stupid shit.
Oof,
How
yeah,
can you
long
prove
time.
that though? How can you prove that?
Oh, they've had
I think they
Nobody owned a whale
dissected
for
them.
5,000 years. There's no
No,
way.
but I think they've dissected them. I
nah,
guess they've looked
yeah.
at genetic markers that there's. I don't. I honestly don't know. I would assume it was
I
something
don't
about
know.
looking at the
Scientists
genetic
said
markers
that.
that can, tell age or some shit.
I don't know. I watched them do a couple of them dark carbon dating tests and they got wrong. People tried to trick them and they were wrong. They didn't even know what it was they had. Even with like DNA tests, they did the two twins, and they
Yo, good
had
looks
different.
league.
They had both had different results.
He back?
Who was that? That's probably Monkey. Oh no, he back.
Uh,
Yeah, he back.
oh
Can
shit.
y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 My phone died. It had to happen. The car I had left my charger.
I knew it.
No, yeah.
My bad. I don't know where y'all was at.
You was about to say
Sleep.
something
No, I
before you
said
said
that slavery could have existed because
Right.
slavery could exist now, bro. I was talking about this the other day. Imagine this, bro. If I own 100 acres of land, fam, right?
Mhm.
That would seem like forever. It would seem like the whole world to somebody in 2023. And if I put you in a field and put some bunkers, you know what I mean, some little huts together for you and gave you some crops to mow, and I put some people on horses in front of you and there was no technology around. I had
they did a
guns.
movie like that with Janelle
Yeah, with
Monáe.
Janae,
Yeah,
with Janae
yeah, I
Moore.
saw
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
bro. That shit could really
Hey,
be
that
That
shit
bitch
happening.
was
was a
crazy,
Civil
bro.
War reenactment. I
Bro,
was
That
like,
shit
Which
was
yo,
movie?
crazy.
that shit
I
that shit
forget.
could
It
be
started with an
happening
A.
right now, 2023. When you think about it, when you
Which
think
movie?
about it logically,
Antebellum. It's
it,
called
Antebellum.
Antebellum.
Oh, I never saw
Antebellum.
yes,
that. What's
bro.
it about?
She's a writer, right? She's like a black. She's like she's a black writer, and I guess I forget what her topics are, but it's like empowering, right? And
Yeah.
she's supposed to do this show, and she's getting this interview by this redhead chick about her book or whatever, and you could tell by the interview the shit is wild weird, like there's just something off. So she does this show, and then like when she's leaving, I think she gets knocked out or
Yeah,
kidnapped. I
she get
forget what
kidnapped.
happens, but she gets kidnapped. But anyway, she wakes. The next thing they show her waking up, and she's being raped by this dude. Like she tries to escape.
Great.
Great, and then they see her being basically taken advantage of by this dude, and it's on the plantation. It looks like slavery time. She got her hair braided like some dusty braids and shit. And this girl is like, "You supposed to help us. You supposed to save us," and you think it's like slaves. And the whole movie, you think like now, you like, how does she go from modern time
Yeah,
to back in the day? You like, what happened?
the
It
movie
was some
got you
like
thinking that
Jordan
she's
Peele shit.
bouncing between times or
Yeah,
No, bro, no. She
and
was
then you
in
find out
2023
I
when
know,
she
I
was.
know, but
you
that
find
first,
out in the end, you find out she's running away. It's a
yeah,
Civil War reenactment
yeah,
on the old plantation, and basically the old guy who runs this reenactment does the plantation is actually keeping people as slaves and
yeah,
training these little white kids like they're actual Civil War soldiers, like letting them rape through. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
But
fucking nuts.
but the point is though, think about this though. The point is that it could literally be happening right now. If I got
It
100
could.
acres, and if
It
I
could.
get a
It
small group of
could.
people and make them have babies together, you know what I'm saying, just keep them on that shit and don't show them the technology, they could be slaves right now.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
They could.
So
That's
yeah,
fact.
that happened. So you know what I'm saying, it probably happened. It's probably still happening. So I don't want to go back and forth about that. My thing is, you know what I mean? We was lit before that. We not no people who didn't know the language and like my whole thing. I changed my name. You know what I mean? The system and shit because I didn't want to have a white man's name. You know what I mean? But now I do research. I'm like, damn, my family was fucking lit. You know what I mean? Like I was born Charles Corey. I changed my name legally to Yahmassiach Israel. It's my real name now, but I wanted to let go of the oppressor's name. But now as I do more research and more understanding, I'm like, well, damn, maybe I've been a Corey this whole time. Maybe they told us that that we were slaves and that they gave us these new names and these white folks names and all this other shit because they don't want us to know that our names is you go through bro, you go through the land patents, bro, you can find out what your parents own, bro. If your parents own some shit before the Emergency Banking Act, bro, you can go and take all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to tell us Africa because they know that we can go through processes to take all this Trump Towers or whatever, the MGM Grand may be on your family's fucking land, and all you gotta do is claim it. Do you know that's the worst thing that can happen to Babylon?
I ain't go front. I heard about that. One of my
That's the
mans
worst
just
thing that can
told me.
happen to them, bro.
One of my
So let me
mans
tell
told
you
me.
that you
Go ahead. Go
ignorant
ahead.
slave niggas. Let me tell you anything. If you look at this is a fact. This ain't about no opinion. If you look at what has happened in the last 100 years, man, black people have been called everything, bro. From
Yeah.
nigger to Negro to colored to black to African
African
American. They're gonna
American.
do anything to confuse us. They're gonna call us anything, bro. I'm telling you, before your great grandchildren are born, we're gonna be called something the fuck else, bro.
Don't
You know what
forget
I'm saying?
don't
That's what we are. The last
Yeah.
couple titles we gave ourselves.
we got bro now that we got the term fucking monkey and shit, they be calling people that too, bro.
It ain't new,
Anything,
bro.
bro.
They got a new
That
term.
you
Nah,
anything
that been, that
that you are
been.
That been,
Indigenous
but
American.
bro, that's another. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a racist slur, like
yeah,
something that they
that's
wanna.
yep. And
No,
motherfuckers,
no. Black is a racist slur.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a fact.
That
Right.
is the most racist. I'd rather be called. That's why I say nigga. I used to not say nigga, but now I say nigga because I'd rather be called nigga than a fucking black man. And everybody want to say it loud that they black and they proud. And by definition, if you look at Black Law Dictionary, it means you dead in the eyes of the law. That's why we get dead by the eyes of the law. You know, we're the only people in the world who get killed by police. Nobody else get killed by police but black people.
Nope.
Because by definition, it means to be dead in the eyes of the law. Black Law Dictionary, 5th edition. But fuck all of that extra shit. Somebody screen share, go to Google and go to and put in define black in Google. Let's really go to church.
Yeah,
Somebody
somebody.
screen share and go to define black in Google, y'all.
Yo, I swear.
Ja is one of the people in the chat, and she said the new name is indigenous.
Yep.
Absolutely, because we've been here,
Absolutely.
staying and stepping on shit.
Just even search up black on Google. You'll literally get. Look.
Screen share it. Let us see it. Let the people see this shit.
Shut up.
Here, let me.
Ain't nobody share it yet.
Yeah, they're gonna share it. It's coming in. Give it a second.
Boog, you got it or no?
Yeah, if I screen share, my shit's gonna freeze. But here, let me just share you
Okay.
the.
Let Mojo do it.
Yeah, you.
All right, you gotta like widen it out so it could be like bigger on the screen.
Like, yeah, zoom in, Mojo. No, zoom in on, like, go
More.
into the yeah. Like,
That's
go
it
on the
right there?
top and
All
hit
right,
the.
so look, forget what that say. Scroll up because we're gonna go to Merriam-Webster Dictionary because that's been out here since 1933. That's the thing that everybody looks at because we gotta understand
Yeah.
it's about spelling, right? Because when we spell words, we cast spells. So whatever these definitions is, when we say you have to have the etymology of terms, right? So like if you say like when we say that you was born and you was a corporation, corpse meaning dead. You know what I'm saying? Oration means to speak. So we are the walking dead. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're dead, but we're really alive because we're walking like zombies. You know what I'm saying? We have to
Says it.
understand what all these terms mean, right? So when you scroll up, you scroll down to Merriam-Webster, that's the book
Says it right
that
here.
they all respect,
Yes.
right? So click
Of or
Merriam-Webster.
relating to a very
Yep.
No, that's cool. No,
population
that's cool.
group.
That's cool. Don't read that. Click Merriam-Webster because we have to go to an authentic source.
That's
Click,
Merriam-Webster.
yeah.
When you go,
Yeah,
when you
click it
click
though.
Merriam-Webster, it tells you that this shit been out here since 1933. This is the one that
Yeah,
they
of
fuck with.
having
You know, it's the
very
white man's
dark.
That's
Bible right here, right? So
see,
check it out, right? When you in the beginning, they're gonna tell you, they're gonna describe to you what it is. I can't see it, so I'm not really reading it because I can't really see it. But I'm telling you, I already know what it do. It tells you the characteristics of a thing first. Before it tells you the description of a thing, it identifies what it's
there's a
talking about.
character.
So it's gonna talk
Yep.
about being of black pigment. It's gonna talk about being from African regions. They're gonna talk about all these things that identify black people, right? At first, it goes through color. It talks about the color thing first, but then it goes
Yeah.
into the characteristics of who we're talking about first. Who before what we're talking about, I'm gonna tell you who we're talking about. So they identify that it's black. African people, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then it goes into the characteristics of black. When you scroll down, I think it starts at number 4. The fourth definition starts to get into what a black
Wow.
person is. We already identify who it is. Now, what it is. What it
Dirty
is
dirty
evil.
and
What it
soiled.
is calamitous. It's dirty. It's spoiled. You say it's dishonorable. It's everything. It's the worst word
Wicked
in
is
the fucking
wicked.
dictionary,
Yo,
bro. To be
Heavy,
black is the
serious.
worst thing you
Wow.
can be.
yo,
Black magic, black
let me
arts,
tell y'all
Angry
something that's even
discontent,
more fucked up.
Black
Let me
Friday. That's what. Oh
having
wow.
dark skin
let me
hair.
tell you the most fucked up shit I just. So you know how where it says, but the first two definitions are describing, African Americans, right? It says right there, like if you scroll up to the first.
Yeah, right there. Who, and then
I,
Of,
what?
yeah, it
or relating
describes
to black
who.
people.
When you look up
Respect
white,
people.
not even the first 4 definitions even mention a person, even mention like a person or none of that.
Because
When you look up white,
white White people aren't
Right,
a
right.
nation. White people have their nations. They're Scots, they're Brits, they're
Uh-huh.
Celtics, they're whatever they are.
Nah, but
That's why it
when
applies
you
to
go
us.
through the health, when you go to the
When you
human
look
health
up just
services
white,
department, the first white person is African. That's the thing
Yeah,
that's so crazy. If you're saying we're African, then fuck it. Because see, when I did my my SS5 form, my Social Security form, and then I did my SF 181 process, I am white, bro. I'm whiter than any of these white people out here.
I
I'm a
do that too.
white American Indian out here, bro. I ain't no fucking black man. Because this shit is not about color and tones. Because am I black? When you look at me, I'm brown. I'm red. I'm not black. So that's those descriptions of my status. For me,
Yeah,
my
that's what the
status is
status
I'm a
term.
white man. I'm honorable, bro. If you can take the screen share and put it on white, it's gonna say honorable. It's gonna say pure. It's gonna say giving, loyal. Father. It's gonna give you all these great characteristics. That's what the fuck I am. You know what I'm saying? And then outside of being white, I'm American Indian. I was here before all you motherfuckers. I'm not African.
yeah, I ain't gonna argue with that because I was not here before anybody. I wasn't even here till, you know what I'm
He's
saying?
talking about your ancestors. He's not talking about you personally.
Yeah. My
Uh,
ancestors were here, which means I am here. We saying before this, I am an American, bro. I don't know nothing about Africa, fam. You know what I'm saying? If I go to Africa, I'm gonna do some business and help people. Now, if I'm gonna talk about Africa, the only country I'm talking about in Africa is Liberia. I'm gonna give y'all some new drip. Black people got their own African country, bruh. We got our own country, and our people out there struggling, and we don't even fucking know about it, yo. Liberia, bro, was created in like fucking 16 fucking something by my best friend Oscar Roberts Jr. Oscar Roberts Jr. lives in California. That's my man. He in the music business. He's doing his thing out here. You know what I'm saying? But his great grandfather, Joseph Jenkins Robert, took a fucking boat ride from Maryland, Virginia, which is the closest point. The quickest way for you to get to Africa from America is from Maryland, Virginia. American to Liberia is the quickest point from America to Africa. And the ACL, the American Colonization League, some white men put the money up and put 16,000 Africans on a boat. That's the only translated slave trade that ever fucking happened. When some niggas get on a boat and going somewhere, is because niggas from America went to Africa, not niggas from Africa coming to America. You know what I'm saying? Joseph Jenkins Roberts and 16,000 other Africans went to Liberia and established their own fucking country. And that country still belongs to Americans right now. Like all the people in Liberia, not all of them, but like 75% of the people in Liberia are actually Americans. They're black Americans who've been there for 400 years, bro. No, not 400, 200. Last year was the bicentennial, was the 200-year mark of Liberia's
That's
creation.
crazy. Look, it says in 1838, the colonies established by the Virginian Colonization Society. The Quaker young men
does that
settled.
explain why they speak English
Put
over
that
there?
up. Put that up.
It's the only African country with their native language is English. Their money
Yeah.
is American money.
Yeah,
All
it
of that,
says
bro.
it. It was established on land acquired for freed U.S. slaves by the American Colonization Society on July 26, 1847. A group of 11 signatories declared Liberia an independent nation.
And
Wow.
That's
Me and the steppers sent
crazy,
50
bruh.
pounds of rice. You can go to my Instagram, you can see this. We spent 50 pounds of rice to them because they eat rice out there. Them niggas out there scrambling, bro, because it's a lot of shit. I want to go to the history of it, bro. But really, like when this bag run up off this discharge and we really crack this code fully, we going to Liberia, bro. We leaving this motherfucker, bro, because the shit is still on American soil, bro. It's America in Africa, fam. We got our own
You
country.
Yeah.
know,
In
you know what?
1846, the first black governor of Liberia, Joseph Jenkins
You
Roberts,
know,
requested the
Oh
Liberian
shit.
legislature to declare
That's
independence.
my best friend's great grandfather, bro.
my
Like this
best
is American
Wow.
shit.
my best friend is from Liberia, and like you said, like they're over there scrambling and shit, and it explains a lot because, my man's his father, like he donates like shit. He grabs shit and then he sends it over there like beds, sheets,
Yeah,
stuff
we
like
do
that,
too. Yeah,
supplies.
you got
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, bro, like all that, like he has a garage where he rents it out like full of beds, shit like clothes, stuff like that, and he gets it in a U-Haul truck, gets it in whatever like a shipment thing, whatever, and then ships it over there. So that like that I can definitely
That's crazy, yo.
understand where you said like they scrambling over there
Says
because
until 1980, America or Liberia was controlled politically by descendants of the original African American settlers, known collectively as the Americo-Liberians, who
Yeah, bro.
consisted of a small minority of the population. The violent overthrow of the Americo-Liberian regime that year led to two civil wars that devastated the country. The first from 1989 to 1997, the second from 1999 to 2000.
Bro, let me tell you what's so fucked up about that shit, bro. Is that when niggas got to Liberia, bro, guess what niggas did, bro? Niggas started being the slave masters, bro. Black people from America went to Liberia and started enslaving the Liberian people,
They
bro.
did what they were
They,
taught.
they was taught,
Yes,
yeah.
bro, we did that shit, bro. Look, and we had shit rocking though. We did. That's what
That's
the white man did. We built Liberia, Monrovia, all this big capitals. Black people from America enslaved Liberians and fucking did what the white man did and built the whole country, fam. And then they had civil wars where they was fucking bringing in guns and bombs. It's like the craziest story. Like on our next interview, I'm gonna bring in my white.
Sound like a project.
Not even white. He is my man. You know what I'm saying? But he's the white dude named Justin. He's a fucking uh what is he? I don't know, a sustainability guy. Like he and a anthropologist. He an anthropologist. And he be going to Liberia. He know the whole history, bro. When like he get on the line, he gonna tell you about everything. Is crazy. Like we could leave America and still be America because America still on Liberia. And then I find out in Virginia, like people don't know that. Like you know how you heard of what is it Swiss bank accounts and like how you get offshore bank
Yeah,
accounts and stuff like that
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in Virginia, they got this one big business, bro, that does all the Swiss bank accounts. Like it's mad money, like it's billions of dollars. Like people got Swiss like type bank accounts all in Liberia. America's using Liberia to funnel all their money through it and all kind of shit, bro. But them niggas is poor and eating rice and all fucked up. And the only thing that's gonna save them is the black man people, so-called black people, the indigenous individuals of America freeing themselves first from this captivity and then going to expand themselves outside of America into our international realm because you can live in Liberia. So first of all, when you get to Liberia, bro, if you come to Liberia, they'll give you citizenship. As soon as you get there, you got dual citizenship. Bomb. And
yeah.
then they give you like 10 acres of land. Had that. You feel me? They want us to build, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's that we don't know, but our people perish because of lack of knowledge, you know?
Mm.
And that's what I want to take, because we've been on this joint for like 2 hours. I want to get to my point, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I was telling y'all something, I'm about to get off this Liberia shit for a minute. We're going to have a whole other conversation about that. What I was telling y'all when I was talking about the Indians and the Africans, the whole point of that whole conversation was to say that when the so-called white folk, which is really the black folk, they the real niggas for real. You know what I'm saying? But when they came to America, they were servitude. I won't say they were slaves. They had their background, they had their knowledge, but they put themselves to a servitude. You know what I'm saying? Because servitude is actually what has always happened since the beginning of time, 4,000 years. I mean, even in biblical times, if I wanted a wife that was worthy, a young woman that was worthy because she was raised by a father and raised to be a good wife, then I would have to either give him mad cows and mad land, her father, I would have to give
I had
him
to
a
work
lot
for
of
it.
stuff to get her, or I would have to put in 7 years of servitude.
Right.
You know what I mean? So servitude was a normal thing. You know what I
Or
mean? So
14 if you had to go through his first daughter.
exactly, right? So servitude was a normal thing. So the American settlers, the colonizers who came into this space, they got put themselves into a servitude contract with Britain in order to be funded to do that. Who had to be? Somebody had to pay for these ships and these guns and all this shit they did to conquer, right? So they thought that it was going to be like a 200-year contract. If you really go back into the history of things, when people like, for example, I'm only going to go to Liberia for this one example. If you go to Liberia, Firestone Tires is like a full blown slave factory, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yo, I'm gonna say this to say, let me say, getting like, fuck you, Firestone Tires. You know what I'm saying? But they got a whole full blown good ass fucking building there, like, you know what I'm saying, where they got AC and all the nice amenities, and on the outside of Firestone Tires, they really got shacks for their slaves. real time right now in Liberia. Motherfuckers living in there and they working for pennies, bro, to keep making these tires and get and extract all the oil because it's rubber. Rubber get made out of trees, and only the trees, these rubber sap trees, only get made in certain areas. And Liberia is got a bunch of it. It's fucking doing that shit right now. But the point I'm making is when Firestone came to Liberia, they did 100-year contract. Back in the day when you came and you did economic development, like even now, if I want to do economic development in Liberia or a different like underserved community, if I get the contract, I get the contract for 100 years because it takes 100 years for me to really develop it the way in my business plan for me to make it. If I want to go from like Dubai was like an all desert. You feel what I'm saying? And in 100 year or less time frame, they built Dubai up. You feel what I'm saying? But you gotta have a long term vision in order to do that. You feel me? So you get these big contracts. So America had a contract with Britain. I mean, not well. The settlers, the colonizers, had a contract with Britain to develop America. You know what I mean? And it was like a 200-year, 300-year contract. But before they got there, they didn't really have the plan to like enslave people the way that they were. They're gonna build like the whole country off of nothing. You know what I mean? So when they came and they seen all these little ass fucking Indians, you know what I mean? They're like, yo, we about to enslave these niggas and turn up. So they did that. You know what I mean? And when they did that economically, you know what I'm saying, they had the ability to um, free themselves from servitude from Britain earlier than they were supposed to. And that's why the Declaration of Independence is such a big deal because they was fucking slave niggas too. But then they utilized enslaving niggas in order to free themselves from their slave nigga status. So the Declaration of Independence is their transition from servitude to independence. And that's why in 1776 to be a white man on the land was the greatest opportunity that you could be in the whole world. It was the greatest situation because there was no crime. You know what I'm saying? We free, we independent, we sovereign. So as long as I don't rob, steal, kill, rape, vandalize or brutalize, you know what I mean, or will brutalize or vandalize somebody's property, then there is no crime. Crime, that word did not exist. You know what I'm saying? So then, white folks was celebrating their freedom. So black folk was like, well, goddamn, we need to be free too. So then there was a civil war in the 1800s. In 1865, there was the American Civil War. And the Civil War, not the Civil Rights Movement, that's something different. The Civil Rights Movement started to happen in the early 1870s, but in 1865 was the Civil War, and that's where the people from the North were saying, "Man, we don't think that black people should be getting raped and they balls cut off and you know what I mean they kids sold away from them and all that other shit. Like that's a little harsh. That's unhumane. So we want to do away with slavery. You know what I mean? And then the North was saying over my fucking dead body. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting money. You feel me? That's just like a crack dealer.
You know,
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's a mama. She got a baby in her belly. You know what I'm saying? And she was a regular beautiful woman, but I started serving her crack, and because of money, I just destroyed her, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? The crack dealer in the hood is just like the motherfucking slave master. You feel me? So there's the same perspective. So they're like, y'all over my dead body, nigga. I'm serving this crack and they gonna get this shit. You feel me? I'm gonna keep my motherfucking slaves, right? So then you had people in the middle that was like, man, I don't agree with the North because I don't want competition. I don't want them trying to fight with me over jobs. I don't want them trying to fight with me over my wife. Because you know what I'm saying? If I pull my big black dick out and you got them little ass meat, your wife is my wife now. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't want to have to deal with that shit. You feel me? So it's like I don't think that they should be getting raped and killed and beat and work for free. But I don't want them competing for jobs and for my women, right? So that was the three perspectives for the Civil War. You got niggas that say they all should be free no matter what, competition or not. There are people in the middle saying, hey, don't slave them out, but don't give them rights. That's crazy. And then you got niggas in the South that's like, yo, I'm going to keep getting this money no matter what. So then that created a civil war in America. So then in order to push the Civil War down, the powers that be came out with the civil rights movement. And that's when shit was smooth because Martin Luther King was doing his thing. He was paid by the government, you know what I'm saying, to get niggas down and relax niggas down, you feel what I'm saying? And to convert us from separation, right, into integration. right? So we instead of fighting for what we actually do to us, our own 40 acres and a mule, our own vessels, our own houses, our own opportunities. You feel me? They got us fighting for water fountains and shit, dumbass bathrooms and dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? So once the Civil War happened, then we had the Civil Rights Movement. So they said we got to answer the call. These black people were saying they wanted to fucking ride in the bus with us and you know what I mean, drink our water fountain. So what we gonna do about that, right? So then this is when everybody got smoked, right? Because I told you to be a free white man on the land in 1776 mean you was lit. So but they only had like a 98-year run. They didn't even get 100 years of prosperity because niggas started saying we want our rights too. And since this is not a really race or religion thing, it's not about that. It's really about the international bankers, the fucking Jews got the control and they running the game on all of us. They got
they
us
want
fighting
everybody
about race
money.
and religion while they actually running the game on blacks, whites, and everything, right?
Yeah.
But that really started to happen in 1871. 1871 is when we had the fucking amendments, bro. And I'm gonna tell y'all this the real game, yo. You can't amend a covenant, bro. You can't amend a
That's
contract.
true.
If I tell you that I'm gonna do something like God made a covenant to the Hebrews, bro, that's what the Bible say like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna fucking bring righteousness to the world. That's a covenant. You can't change that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can Jesus Christ can't come along and say that you don't have to follow the
Yep.
laws no more. You can eat pork
Yep.
now. No,
Yep.
because there was a covenant. God made a covenant with people.
Mhm.
This shit is not, you can't change it, right? So it's the same thing with the Constitution. You can't make an amendment to the Constitution. It's a covenant with the people for our freedoms, right? So when they made these amendments, these 1 through 50 or whatever, 15, I don't go past the 14th Amendment because the 13th to the 14th Amendment is where the fucking sauce is. That's where all our slavery happened.
There's
You feel me? But when they
27.
amend, huh? What'd you say?
There's 27 amendments to the Constitution.
Boom, 27. But the only thing that matters is the 13th to 14th. You know what I'm saying? So they made all these amendments. They changed the situation. So you can't amend a covenant. You can't amend the Constitution. So what it did is made two now is to make dual citizenship. It made two different environments, yo. You can either be, you know what I'm saying, a federal citizen, like a federal corporation citizen, or you can be a citizen of the de jure republic that always existed. But in 1871, through the amendments of the Constitution, they made a whole new government. There's a new Constitution, bro. There's two of them. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't change the first one. You just gotta make a new one, call it amendments, but you just added shit to the original. You feel me? So look, this what happened, bro. They gave us the 13th. The 13th said that slavery is dead. There ain't no slavery. Unless,
You commit a criminal act.
holy fuck. Now what is that?
That sound
Because
like
that's
jail.
what I'm saying. In 1871, when that law was made,
And then the
it
prison population erupted with black and brown, well, dark
booming,
skinned people. Yeah,
booming. Now
that's
let me tell you
history.
why. Let me tell you why, King. It's so important, right?
Because we stopped working for free and the prison industrial complex became the new slavery.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because you can
absolutely,
have
absolutely.
prisoners
But
work for peanuts a
So is
day
that
and
why
make the
is that
same
why you
product.
get paid $100 and something
You
a day for
no, you
being
get
in prison?
you get paid $1.25 a day.
yeah, a dollar.
It's
You
a
get
dollar and a
nothing, bro.
quarter.
You
A
get
dollar and
Oh
a
wow.
pennies.
quarter a day.
It's literal slavery.
A
Look,
dollar and a
listen,
quarter a
listen.
day.
The
They
steppers,
I
the
they
built
get
steppers
a
I
they
built
get
the
$100 off.
steppers done
I built
free.
I built a motherfucking playground at a rec center. Masonry, laid concrete, built the fucking roof, did the floors, like built this bitch, remodeled this shit for $1.25 a day. A job that the contractor would charge anywhere from 50 to 75 grand to do. We did in a couple weeks for
Bro,
$1.25.
you would get paid $50 to $75 an hour to do that. What are you talking about? Listen, hey, don't the
No, I'm
government
talking about
don't
the wages.
wait, no, let's make something clear, bro. The government don't do nothing for 50 to 75,000. Whatever you talk about was
No, I'm
done, that
saying
shit
the
was done for seven
contractors.
point
No,
five
no.
million
What I'm
dollars,
saying
bro. It
is,
was done for stupid
well, no.
millions.
What I'm saying is, if it was if I was on the street and I got a personal job, I'm saying like as a contractor, it's a job could have charged anywhere
Oh
from
yeah, yeah,
50
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
75 grand to do, and we was only getting paid $1.25 a day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So look, let me get to the sauce because I don't want to. I don't want like this is the most important thing. This is the whole reason why I'm on a podcast is about what I'm telling y'all right now, bro. This is the whole drip of everything I talk about. You know what I mean? So, um, the 13th Amendment say that there ain't no slavery unless you commit a crime.
Right.
But that was a holy shit statement because at that time when they made that law, nobody knew what the fuck a crime was, bro. So we was all lost because from 1776 to 1871, as a free white man on the land, there was no crime. I could not commit a crime. The only thing I could do is commit a common law violation.
Right.
I only could rob, steal, kill, rape, uh, brutalize, or vandalize someone's property. That's the only way I could ever have any experience with police, jail, courts, anything. So when you talk about what a crime is, it's like, what is that? Because we don't call things crimes. We call things common law violations. We call these things civil suits. I'm a person. I'm harmed civilly. I'm harmed. So I take you to court to get my benefit for your harm of me,
Right.
my redemption for your harm. You feel what I'm saying?
That's
That's all that there was. So now, how do we create crimes? Well, Congress comes together, a group of fucking people who don't got no sovereignty, no real power. They come together and tell me what I can do or what I can't do. You know what I'm saying? So in 1871, when that happened, I don't know. Well, I say the 13th Amendment says that nobody can have slavery unless it's a crime. Boom. So then 14th Amendment says that this applies to everyone. And that is the fucked up part for the white man on the land. The white man on the land was the most powerful sovereign individual on the planet Earth from 1776 till 1871. Because in 1871, when they put out this 13th and the 14th Amendments, that's what said that there's now crime. And it's not just about black people. It's about everybody. So what I'm telling you is, it ain't about race or religion. It's about the fucking bankers that have control of all the money who said, I don't care if you white, black, green, purple, whatever the fuck. Y'all all under the same shit. Y'all all got crime now. I would rather enslave the whole world before I let a black man move in the capacity of a white man in this world.
I'll take
And
your
so they
point
came up
there.
with the amendments to the Constitution instead of just saying, because they could have just said that slavery is dead. There is no more slavery. It's done. The 13th Amendment could have just said that. Everything would have been cool. But they didn't say that. What they said was slavery is dead unless you commit a crime. See, they could have said slavery is dead. If you commit a crime, then you go to jail for a small amount of time. No, they said if you commit a crime, then you could be a fucking slave.
Wow.
And then they said in the 14th Amendment that white man, black man, Indian man, I don't give a fuck, your ass going to jail because you're all citizens of the federal corporation now. And there was no federal corporation before 1871 because that's when DC was created. And DC represents all of this federal shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, we got to understand, bro, like the white man got lost his privilege. We lost our privilege, everything. But why is there only niggas in jail? Or, you know what I mean? Because white privilege, bro. If all the judges is white, you know what I'm saying? All the police is pretty much white, or the nigga, like the black
They,
police. The last nigga that was killed by police was killed by all
yeah,
black niggas. Damn. Y'all so sold into this shit where I'm proving to you that it's not race and
but
religion,
they
bro.
pick where they
It's not
enforce the
about
laws.
race, fam. It's about
They pick where they
status.
enforce those laws. They don't enforce them for everybody. You can see the same things going on in neighborhoods. They're not enforcing them the same way.
Nah,
About,
that's a fact.
Right,
about I got a
because when
question.
people white, bro, they pure in the land, bro. When you black, you dead in the law. That's what I'm saying. It's status, fam.
Mhm.
So why am I saying that state nationalism is so important for black people?
Uh,
Because it's really for black people. You gotta understand, a black person is not a citizen or a national. So a citizen still got benefits. A citizen still has privileges. A national has constitutional God-given rights. But the privileges of citizenship is still lit for real.
Hey,
You know what I'm
hey, Big
saying?
Steppa, I got a question. I got
Uh-huh.
a question. So, when you say that, are you? Let me say it like this. When you said it that we didn't know what crime was at a certain time in a certain time frame period, did you just
Mhm.
mean like what? Who did you mean? Because there's been crime since I guess the beginning of time, right? You know,
There was only constitutional, I mean, there was only common law
mhm.
violations. So if I said crime, yes, was crime, but they didn't call it crime. They call it civil violations. If I stole your chickens from your yard, you know what I'm saying? If I, set your house on fire, if I raped your wife, you know what I'm saying? If I mean, these are crimes. but those are really just common law violations, civil violations. They didn't put them under the code and the word of crimes, which are constitutional, statutory laws that were implemented by man,
They
not implemented by
they
common
I
use
sense.
the
got
word crime in old England though.
that's what I'm saying. So it's more about
Before, yeah, before they came to America, they used that term crime.
so no, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, we
So
could
it's
put it.
more about, is it more about what the word means, or is it more about
No,
who the people
what
were?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to y'all. I mean, in 2023, you feel what I'm saying? Whatever etymology was used in the term, because a crime could be crime, right? Right. So, like back in 1600, a crime could be called a crime. But what I'm saying, there was no crime that was given to you by Congress then. If they had the word crime, it's because there was a physical person that was injured by another physical
Well,
person. Now
what
you
about
could show me, Google it. Hold on, screenshot and let me screen share and Google a crime that didn't harm someone else before 1800s.
okay? Well,
I'll wait.
let me just ask this then. I before the whole Google and everything. Um, so I don't know who it was exactly who was ruling during this time, but during, I guess, when they were building the pyramids and shit. I don't know if it was during those times, right? But you know the saying, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So isn't, I mean, that's okay. Maybe they, okay. Let me say it like this. Maybe they didn't use the word crime. They didn't use the word, oh, that was a crime if it was an eye for an eye.
Yeah, but
An
even
eye
when
for
you
an
think
eye
about
No,
literally
it,
bro,
when you
means
think
you're
that
about
you.
it
making my
far back
point,
then,
fam. You're
it was
making my
yeah. You're
point.
about to say you're making this point because even back then, it would have been you just having to, if you did something you to somebody, you would your the payment of that would be for you have to solve that problem. So if you stole my goat, you got to give me a goat. Plus,
Okay.
you got to
Yeah,
pay
Right.
for
yeah,
my
yeah, no.
inconvenience.
Common law
If you
Yeah.
kill,
violations is what we're
if
talking
if
about.
you
All
kill,
I'm saying is crime. You can name it etymology. You can name it whatever you want. But what I'm saying is before the 1800s in America, I don't know what the fuck happened in Spain or Brazil or whatever the fuck, bro. Right? In America, bro, before the 1800s, bro, before 1871, the only crime that there was a common law violation with the murder, rape, vandalized, brutalized, you know what I mean, property, shit like that. There was no other way to even describe harming nobody. You
but
never went to court, you never had police. There was no interaction with the government unless you harmed another
and
person.
look, this is an example of when he says a crime, right? I don't know what state it is, but in one of those states, it's against the law for you to be eating an apple pie after a certain hour.
You
Is
said
that
apple
harming
pie.
apple pie? Yeah,
I don't know
specifically
what
apple
fucking
pie.
state that is.
I don't know what state it is either.
Or like how it's illegal in all states right now
Jaywalk.
for you to get fellatio
Yeah, yeah,
to eat your girl's
to
box
eat
is
the
a
box,
crime.
right?
Like
It's illegal for you to eat the box in a lot of states.
So no,
Jaywalk.
so yeah, so no, so what I was saying, so I know, well, then I'm glad I proved your point. Then, to be honest, I was trying to understand, like, you know what crime was and what it even means. Like, what's the whole definition? Not the even definition behind crime.
Certain things you do may infringe on another person's God given rights. That's
Okay,
when
right.
you have to
That's
solve.
the only crime that there is.
Yeah,
A crime. So a crime, basically, a civil in this term for your heart monkey. A civil offense is something I've done to somebody else. Civil between two civilian,
That's it.
basically,
right.
right? Crime is something it's an offense where it's against the law. I can be punished, whether it's against somebody else or not. It's
right,
just something that the law says I can't do.
right.
Doesn't harm
Okay,
anybody, but I'm not allowed to do it legally. Smoking weed, for example, was a crime for a long time. It still is in some
okay,
states.
right.
Certain
Yeah,
Doesn't harm anybody. I could be in
Yeah,
my
that's
house.
bullshit. You said weed.
Yeah,
You said weed,
yeah.
They're
bro.
just using that as
That's
an example.
bullshit, bro. I got caught in the airport with eight pounds,
I
bro. They
know,
couldn't do
but I'm
nothing to
saying
me,
I'm talking
bro.
about in terms of being a crime and
yeah.
shit
Being a
like
crime.
that.
We're talking about being a
Like
crime, not a
in some
sentence.
states, you can't smoke legally. It's a crime. It's labeled as a
Yeah.
crime. It's an offense punishable by law. That's what a crime
I live
is.
out
It's not
VA
a
too,
civil
man.
offense because it's not harming or hurting anybody,
Right.
but it's labeled a crime, basically.
We know,
Bro, that's
yeah.
a perfect example, bro. Or nigga, oh, bro, in certain companies like in Las Vegas or Arizona where it don't rain a lot, it's illegal to put buckets on
Rainwater.
Rain.
your roof
Right.
and catch
Fucking
Right.
rainwater, bro.
ridiculous. You
Like
can't
that's
do that in
fucking
Jersey
ridiculous,
either.
bro.
You
Oh,
can't.
That's
You can't put
crazy.
your whole house on solar panels either. They got to come and take whatever extra energy you.
Yes, bro,
That's
and we gotta get
fucking
out of that.
crazy.
That's my point, bro. That shit is fake. All of that shit
Niggas
is
come and
fake, bro.
charge you for
It's
that
not
shit.
even real, bro.
That
It's not
that's
real,
more
bro.
like, that's more saying, like, okay, you can only get, because I remember seeing this. This was like maybe a few years ago when I was working at FedEx, right? And a lot of people I delivered to had houses, apartments, whatever the case was. But I went to a lot of houses too, and I started getting these commercials on my phone and on my on TV, and it was about these this company that was
Electrical.
selling, or basically it wasn't like selling, but like it basically like we'll give you a huge discounted price if you put these solar panels on top of your roof. And they were doing that for a while. Like it was a big thing. Like it was like
Walaikum
over
salam, habibi.
it was like come get some solar panels on your house, things like that. And I
I
thought, to
I
be
put
honest, I'm
solar
not a house
panels.
owner, but
I put solar panels on my mom's house in North Carolina, and she was only using the solar panel power. The electric company noticed that her meter wasn't being used at all, and they
Hmm.
came out and they fined my mother $3,000 for not using their energy. She had her own, living just fine. They fined her $3,000 for not using their energy.
so wait, because they found out that she had it.
When they came out, when the inspectors came out to read the meter, they noticed that her meter, she
But
hadn't been using it.
why would she even fucking pay? What are they gonna do? Cut her electric off? Like,
Well, so
like
what
I
they
don't,
did was they
Right?
negotiated a deal with her for wherever excess energy that she doesn't use for the month, she has to sell it off to the electric company.
Is that so? That's
She's
wait. Is
not
that in the
allowed.
fine print? Is that fine print shit?
I don't know about any fine print. This is the deal they worked out with her.
yeah, they did that for their benefit because at the end of the day, there's nothing they could have done really. Like, we're gonna
Hmm
fine you. Fine me all you want,
Well,
bitch. I'm
out
not
in North
using your
Kakalaki,
service.
they probably, where in North Carolina is it where they live, where your mom lives, right?
hmm
Is it like so? Is it like my where my people stay in Mississippi? It's very spread out. Is it?
Well, I mean, it's kind of spread out, but she lives on a park. She lives on a trail. She has I don't know who. Don't be against trailers because she got the nicest motherfucking trailer I've ever seen in my life. On a jacuzzi, all that motherfucker. But she got solar panels all over it and in her front yard, like all over it. When she moved down there, I didn't want her to be down there having to worry about stuff like that. So
Yeah.
she's
You said she
checking
had
a
what
lot
all
of
over the
things.
front yard?
Huh?
You said she had what all over the front yard?
Solar panels.
Oh.
Shit, I was worried when
You
my
know,
mom moved to
Yeah, no, in
Mississippi.
Jersey, I was gonna get. They still do them offers up here. Like, I
people.
could get the whole shit on my roof, and the way they do it up here is, or they used to do it. You got credit for having the panels. Like,
Mm.
they set it up so that the panels feed your
Yeah.
system, and you could get like a bank that'll store the energy, so that like at night when the sun's not on, you could use it at night. And then it's the same thing though. Like during the day, what it is part of it will feed your house and go into the bank, and then a little bit of that excess too, they goes
They
into
come
the
and get it.
grid.
Yeah, they come
Yeah,
and get it.
it goes into the grid, but they pay
They
you
just
for it.
they really just wanted to know what was going on. That's really all they wanted to do. They wanted to
They
know
pay
Yeah,
exactly
you
pretty
what was
for
much.
going
You
on.
want to
it.
be nosy as fuck.
They pay
Yeah.
you for it, but it was only for a certain amount of time, and then after that, then it was just whatever. Like, it was your shit was your shit.
I
You
think
know.
initially
You know.
initially before they got there, they just wanted to make sure that she was okay, but she hadn't been using none of her energy down there. And then when the guy got down there, he realized what was going on. Motherfucker
So basically, they were like, oh shit, you're not using our energy.
had.
What's going on?
I didn't know though. I didn't know. When I put
Yeah.
him, I hooked him up myself. I didn't know that you had to fucking do that. I put her shit on there, and when I had a couple of them. She had like 5 of them that was on the roof. I hooked up her refrigerator, her TV, and her air conditioner to that one, and it was running off that. So she was like, "Can you bring some more down here because I want to run some other stuff on it." And eventually, after the years went by, she had about 30 solar panels sitting out there.
Damn. 30. That's a lot.
She wasn't using none of their energy. She wasn't
That's
using
a
none of it.
fucking lot. 30 panels? God
She
damn.
wasn't using none of it.
That's a lot at one point.
Well,
And she built her
from
own Tesla
Algeria,
wall. Like
bro.
she got Tesla.
Oh shit,
She
yo,
got a
bro
piece
left.
of
I
that.
just
Huh?
realized he ain't even in here no
He's
more.
still in here, but he turned his camera off.
I only see him.
He
You
is.
won't see them, but they
Nah,
see them
yeah,
because they
I'm
got
here.
a
I'm here,
producer
bro.
on.
I'm just driving in the
Oh, okay,
car on my way
okay,
back to the
okay, okay.
crib.
Yeah.
I was letting y'all do y'all thing. You know what I'm saying? When it's my turn to talk again, I'll get back in motion.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. No, but what was I gonna say? But yeah, no, just all back to what I was just saying. I just kind of
I just need to know. I just need a clarification. That's all I needed. It was because I'm more of the person that be learning shit.
Yeah, so the whole
You on
point of
some of
what
your
we were
live shit.
saying, the point of what all we were talking about was the fact that there was no crime before 1871. To be a free, white man on the land was the greatest opportunity to have until 1871 because niggas started to say they wanted to be free too, and the powers that be would rather enslave the whole American population than to let niggas be free. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's all about. The whole America, like all of America, is about. You know what I'm saying America's relationship with niggas. That's it. That's the whole. That's the whole vibe. You feel me? Every decision from freedom that they're free. They wouldn't be able to be free. They were slaves first to Britain, and they was able to free themselves from utilizing slaves, American slaves, to do it. You feel me? And then American slaves said, "Well, damn, we want to be free too." And they said, "Well, damn, we're not gonna let y'all be free, so we're gonna enslave everybody." So we all dealing with the Black American experience. That is what America is. You feel me? So now. You know what I'm saying? So 1871, everybody's slaved out. You feel me? Now it's important for Black people to become nationals. Now white people are really the nationals. Like it's probably like 35% of all white folks is actually nationals stepping. You feel me? But Black people, we don't understand this, but we gotta do it because we the only ones who don't have citizenship. White people have the privilege of citizenship. Black people do not have privilege of citizenship. You know what I mean? Because Dred Scott decision says that a Black man was never intended and can never ever be a citizen of the American movement, right? So that was a Supreme Court ruling. So the only way for a Supreme Court ruling to be overturned is for you to overturn it. And if you don't do a vote, you know what I mean, and overturn it, then it stands as law. Any Supreme Court ruling that happens stands as law from that point on. So it was never repealed. So Black people cannot be citizens. They have the, but you can see that they're not citizens because they get killed by police. Real American citizen gets killed by police. That's why niggas, Black people in America, are the only people in the world that get killed by the police force because they're the only people in the world who have no nationality, no citizenship, nothing. They're literally the same ways were. But why? How? What do you mean? Because it's like the dope game. You know what I'm saying? If I'm selling dope and I'm sitting on the corner, like paid in full, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm out here slinging dope. I got jail. I got rival gangs. I got niggas taking my spot, rob me, all kind of things. But if I'm the plug, if I'm the you know what I'm saying, Hispanic plug or a Niger what was it, Argentinian motherfuckers, what is it, whatever, whoever got the coke, right? If I'm the plug, you know what I'm saying, I don't have no risk. All I gotta do is find some niggas to give the work to, and them niggas gonna take all the risk, and I'm gonna get all the money. So that's how the
Yeah,
slavery happened. Instead of why as a white man do I want to be all day in the sun? Because niggas can be outside all day, and we not gonna get skin cancer. But the white slave owner gotta be out there with us on the slave field, and he gonna get sun cancer. He gonna get all kind of, it's hard work, labor. I'd rather just be the plug. I don't want to be out there block no more. So just like people elevate, just like the Hispanics and everything, you know what I'm saying, gets niggas to go to jail, and it's only nothing but Black men in jail because they the lower level drug, and the higher level people get all the money and all the respect and all the power and never go to jail. That's what slavery is. They were like, man, it was hard. I had to be a slave too. I was working just as hard as the niggas was. So how
yeah,
do I make this shit easier on me? You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I'm enslaving with this paper shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put them all up under this 14th Amendment, make them, you said they make a crime, I can get slavery that. What I'm saying? And now, like it used to be where you could just do anything you want. That's why I'm gonna fly anywhere with guns, weed, I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want out here, bro. As long as I harm nobody, can't nobody tell me nothing, bro, because I'm a free white man on the land, bro. 1976. So even when we see Donald Trump, racist, man, I love Trump. Now I don't vote. I don't pick my. I'm not gonna pick my approach. Let me all fucking racist crackers if you ask me. But if I were to
yeah.
vote, I would vote because they had 1776 racism. They racist movement, a racist movement. Their movement is saying,
No.
I'm trying to be back in a
Hold
free
on,
Big Steppa, you
Big
breaking
Steppa,
up,
you
Big
breaking up a
Steppa.
little bit. Big Steppa.
damn. I can hear you. Hold on, hold on,
Yeah,
hold
you breaking up a little bit.
on. Yeah, so let me go to a different location.
trying to get. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me?
All right, no problem.
Can y'all hear me?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
Hello, can
Yeah.
y'all hear me?
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I gotta move. I was driving to a bad location, get to another location because I want you to hear. It's an important part.
you seem too legit.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better now because it was skipping a lot. It was skipping a lot.
All right, boom. So
So
if y'all can hear me,
it was like no, it's breaking up too again. Hold on, bro. It's breaking up a little bit on your end. Hold on.
all right, can y'all hear me now?
We actually yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so look, so hear me, y'all, let me know if I break up. Look, when people look at Donald Trump, they be looking at Trump like he racist, and the nigga probably is racist.
Hmm.
That ain't got nothing to do with it because they all racist. So I don't pick my oppressor, bro. I don't vote Democrat or Republican because they all going against us. They are the federal corporation. But if I were to pick my oppressor, I would pick Trump because they had the Make America Great Again movement. Niggas looked at that shit like it was racism because they failed to what Biden was talking about. Biden is really the racist motherfucker. If you look at Biden's history,
Oh yeah.
there ain't nobody who arrested more black people during the crack era than Biden. He was the number one nigga catcher in the whole fucking United States. So his history is actually racist. And he actually said
Yeah.
racist things that we accepted as non-racist things.
And he
Y'all
creepy
can
with
hear
them
me?
little kids too.
Yeah, he a weirdo. So look, so when he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, that's racism. What the fuck is we talking about? Anybody who was so and voted for him because of that is a dumb. He was showing he was racist. If you don't vote for me, you ain't. What does that mean? That means that you an ignorant nigga. That means that you gonna just vote for me because I appeal to black people. It means that you're not actually getting to the law and see the change that we're gonna have. But just be sold into my fucking nigga fucking pitch. Like that's ridiculous. You feel me? So what Trump and them niggas did, they was on some Make America Great Again. They was on some 1776. Now, racist, the racist movement, they only cared about being a white man on the land again. So to make America great again, that means just give me my liberty, give me my American state, constitutional rights. You feel me? 1776. Give me back to be a free white man on the land. And the reason why I added that is because I'm saying the same thing. I am a free white man on the land. Give me back 1776. Now, in 1776, my ass was a slave. My forefathers was a slave. But in 2023, getting back to being a white man on the land and getting back into this constitutional movement, I'm fucking lit, bro. I'm not going to jail. I ain't paying taxes, bro. We discharging debt. And all this is based on having the same status as a slave master in 1776, bro. And that's what the fuck. Now we done already did away with slavery, so niggas ain't on the field no more. But when it comes to the status of a slave master, if I'm so sovereign, bro. I'm so powerful that I can captivate a whole nother race of people, fam. I can make a slave out of another group of whole humans. So if you know I'm sovereign, if I got slaves, I got to be God out here. And now we done moved our status back to that point because we done cut the slavery out and just now got to being a man on the land. And because of the 14th Amendment, it said it was for everybody. So if everybody could be forced into a citizenship, now everybody can be forced into a nationality. Everybody can be forced into a non-citizen national status, being back on the republic, being a man back on the land. You know what I mean? So I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying. If that shit was confusing, because I brought race into it a little bit, but it's like we now have the opportunity to be like the white man was when we was enslaved by him. Not just saying that we can enslave other people, but it's that he was so sovereign that the government could not interfere with none of his dealings. And now we don't put ourselves out of the water, maritime law, back into admiralty, and now our feet is on the land too. You know, so I'm not fucking black. I'm white, You know what I mean? Because the white means to be pure. You know what I'm saying? I'm an American Indian because that means to be indigenous out here before all you motherfuckers. And I'm standing in my American capacity.
So what do you say about the people that be like, I'm not black. They say I'm not black. I'm not because I'm not a color. What do you say for that?
I'm
Like
not black.
people
I'm
say
not
that.
black because I'm not a fucking slave. Black means to be dead in the eyes of the law. Black means to be all the things we seen in Merriam-Webster dictionary. So I'm not black either, bro. I was literally before I just came up with the Stappers Only campaign. I was gonna come up with a whole campaign that said black is whack and white is right. But I'm such a nigga. I'm for the people. I didn't want it to be misinterpreted. I didn't want it to be misinterpreted, so I didn't do it. But that's really my feelings, bro.
Yeah, that shit would not have gone over well.
Now went right.
Word.
Yo,
That's like the BLM movement. That should have been crazy.
Yeah, that's how it would have been taken. That's how it would have been taken. Just like you know what I mean. But I'm saying with the real facts of it though, that's why I didn't do it. But the real facts is that's the truth. Black is fucking whack. Right is fucking white. Now a white man ain't the one in power, but you as a black man need to change your status from being black to being white because it don't. Listen, I'm not black. When you look at me, I'm brown, bro. So it doesn't.
Yeah,
And when a white man, he's fucking pink. He's not white.
Definitely not
So it has
black.
nothing to do with how we look or nothing like that. These are codes, fam, to
yeah,
keep us in servitude. So black is whack,
Yeah,
white is right. I'm whiter than the fucking
yeah,
white man that's acting racist in your neighborhood.
yeah, yeah.
That
I
makes
agree with
sense.
that.
Okay.
Some
yeah.
of them
Fuck it.
are bigger niggas than we could ever be.
Bro, they the niggas, they the ignorant beings. The police, the biggest nigga in the United States of America is a fucking police because he just understands codes and procedures and he hasn't done what's necessary to understand the law. You feel me? And that's why you gotta stand, so you gotta be a stepper because if you were waiting for them to give you your freedom, well, you're gonna be enslaved forever. You gotta take that shit. This Nat Turner right here you talking to. We just don't gotta run up in your house and kill you no more because ain't no more y'all don't have physical slaves. Y'all got corporate slaves. So I gotta run in and I gotta kill the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? But I'm Nat Turner. I'm killing slave masters every day. But through paperwork, bro. They say that the pen is mightier than the sword.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
All right.
Man,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure having you on. We gonna get out of here.
Word.
It's been a real pleasure having you
yeah,
on.
bro.
Yeah.
I
You
know all the
definitely.
guys appreciate you, man.
I'm glad
Now the
I'm glad
pleasure
you
is mine,
reached
Kings.
out, man.
You gotta come back
I'm
though.
glad you
You gotta
answered.
come back because
Yeah.
we not
Hell
done.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come back for
You
like
gotta
part
come
two.
back.
Yeah, I'm,
Like
I'm,
part
I'm bringing
two.
some new people with me. When I come back, I'm gonna bring some ambassadors, some OGs. I'm gonna bring
Oh
my white
yeah.
anthropologist homie. We're
Yeah.
gonna really crack some codes and get it in. You feel me?
Yeah,
We're
Sounds
gonna
let's
start
get it.
talking
Yeah.
Let's
about the
get
That's
it.
what I'm
details.
talking about. That's
Hell
it.
yeah.
But look, I ain't even get to tell
Maybe
y'all the
Mojo
stepper
can meet up
stories.
with y'all. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the stepper stories, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all when I smoked the blunt in Nashville, Tennessee airport. I'm gonna talk about, you know what I mean, when police pulled me
Yeah,
over and I can't do nothing, all this shit. I'm gonna
I
talk
had a
about all of
bunch of
that on the
questions
next one.
I didn't even get to ask you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Start talking and just getting into it. But yeah, nah, that's what I mean. You gotta come back though. You got to.
Yeah, y'all
Word.
open up for me because I be trying to figure out what to say to people because I got so much information. I don't be knowing where to start. I be trying to figure
Bro,
out
you
what
got
video I'm gonna
so
say,
much.
but it's much easier for me to do this with y'all, and we can cut this up, and we got mad videos, mad content. We gonna just
Nah,
do this.
hell yeah.
Like, listen, Kanye West, right? Let me tell y'all this. Kanye West, he knew he was great before he was great. That's
Yeah.
why he was able to come out with the Kanye West documentary. And he got with a cameraman who believed that he was as great as he
Uh
was
huh.
saying he is back in the day. And if it wasn't for their relationship, we wouldn't be able to see the story of how Kanye West
Him and
became the guy that
Cuddy.
he is.
Because
You
he
feel me?
struggled getting up. He struggled getting up, bro. Man had to sneak in through MTV to get his music videos out.
Him and
Shit,
Cuddy. Yeah,
shit
nah,
went in and out.
Kanye.
No, but yeah, that's real. But the point I'm making with that is that he knew he was God before we knew he was God. You know what I'm saying? Like then he accomplished all the things that like before he came up with all the hits, before he came up with all the clothes, all the things he did, he knew that he was gonna do these things. So he got with his cameraman and they started making a documentary when he wasn't nobody. You know what I mean? Because he knew he's gonna be the great being that he would be. So that's how I feel about myself. That's how I feel about y'all podcast. If we keep doing this shit on a regular basis, we're gonna start showing, we're gonna talk about where we're going and who we are. And but in the future, these documents that we're making is gonna be historical testaments to the new era and a new freedom of our people. So if we can start rocking these shits on a regular basis, y'all podcast gonna go crazy. My shit gonna go more up. We're gonna get money and success, but we're
Nah,
gonna actually
hell
be able
yeah.
to document this historical movement, bro. This is the 70s right now, bro. We back to the leather jackets and the afros and the guns in the streets. We just doing it through paperwork, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Let's
same
go.
movement. It's
Black
just that we're
Panther
not in a
movement. Let's
physical
go.
capacity.
For real.
Nah, but that's what's up though. I'm glad you answered the call. A lot of people wouldn't just answer on TikTok, just you know what I'm saying, on the whim of somebody hitting them up and messaging them. But you hit me back and shit, and I got your number, and we talked and everything, and I'm glad that we talked because you're a very influential brother.
Oh man, man, peace and love, bro. And that's just because I'm not a guru, bro. I don't know shit, but what I know, I'm willing to share
Right.
with the people. You know what I'm saying? And this is just a revolution. I just want everybody to know, like niggas get caught up in social media, bro. What happened to the like? I'm about to do a spoken word. I'm writing. I've been working on this shit, like, but it's called "What the fuck happened to the revolution." You know what I'm saying? When niggas was out here stepping, when we was out here, like we used to come pull up with guns, leather jacket, afros. You know what I'm saying? Really be helping the
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? Giving mad
Yeah.
food to the community. What happened to that, bro?
Niggas
Everybody's
be
just a
stuck.
YouTube guru now. It's just a TikTok guru. Ain't nobody really
It's,
stepping. Ain't nobody really
it's too
doing
many
nothing for
black
nobody.
CIA agents.
Like it's too many snitches.
Too many black CIA agents, bro. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Black
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro. So that's
Kool-Aid,
what
all
that's
that
what
shit.
that's what the knowledge
Too
bar about to
many,
be
too many
on,
of
bro.
those.
The knowledge
Hell
bar
yeah.
about to record this new revolution. You feel me?
Nah, yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it. We with it.
Yeah. We
We
put
with
on.
it.
Yeah. We gonna do it. We
Yeah.
already are doing it. We're doing it right now.
After y'all
Hell
been
yeah.
doing it, you feel me? And I appreciate
Yes,
it. That's
sir.
Yeah.
why I'm here. You
This
know what I'm saying? That's why I'm here
revolution will
fucking with
be
y'all up in y'all because
televised.
y'all legit.
At
Oh,
least this
fuck
part of it will.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so peace and love, man. You know, man, I got just some things to do. I'm sure y'all do as
Nah,
well.
yeah, we
You know,
already
but
know,
look, man,
man.
let's do
Hell
part
yeah.
two, part three, you know what I'm saying? Part four. Let's get it popping.
No, you
Nah,
already
Man, we
know.
gonna get it, bro.
definitely. I got I
Yeah.
got your number and everything. We're gonna keep in touch, and yeah, we're gonna keep
Absolutely.
this going. I'm gonna let you know once I got any clips and stuff like that I could send you, so you could put it on your TikTok and everything, and tag us in it. Oh man, yeah, let's get this going,
Yeah, brother
man.
Steppa, we
I
really
already
do
threw your
appreciate
videos
you,
up,
bro.
and I've been getting a lot of views from your videos. So you know what I'm saying, and I tagged you in it and shit, so your shit could keep moving.
Oh, praise, bro. I
Well,
appreciate
we
y'all,
appreciate you,
brothers, man.
bro.
I love the energy, bro. I respect y'all. Y'all continue to push this fraternal order of organized men out
Yes,
there
sir.
into the universe, man. And we're gonna stay locked in, man. Peace and love to you all.
Peace and
Thank
love,
you,
Yeah,
Peace
brother.
and
sir.
much love
love,
to you,
bro.
man. Much love, man.
Peace, man.
Shalom, man.
All right, brothers.
Appreciate it.
Shalom.
Oh man,
Hey,
that
that
was a fucking good ass
Yeah,
show, bro. That was a good ass show.
it was. We didn't even get to what the shit, all the shit he know. We
Word, I
just
had
bro,
jumped
so
I
many
right
already
into
knew it
it.
was gonna be
questions.
like that though. I
I
did.
had
I
a
already knew it
feeling
was gonna be
too.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I had a
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
too.
It was good though. There was
I was
back and
like, I was
forth. There
thinking, I was like,
was
watch us not even get to none of this shit.
yo, that's what always happens though.
the
Yeah.
conversation just be so fluid, man.
It's going on
Yeah,
two and a
Yeah,
half hours.
man.
It's already past 2.5 hours.
Word, we gotta shut it
Right. Black,
because we got clips and all of that shit. Niggas-
black son called Cove.
Yeah, man, that
Damn,
shit
Flex, what
crazy.
happened to you, bro?
He caught it from Dior.
Bro.
Let Dior lick him in his mouth.
He yeah, he probably cuddling. He was probably cuddling Dior and shit and got fucking cold.
Oh
But yeah,
man, I
man, we
feel
about
like
to go
shit.
out. Oh, I think it just left.
Damn, that was quick.
Huh?
You went to
Oh,
who? You
woo.
didn't go to the right person.
it's black. What is this?
You didn't go to the
Oh
right person.
shit. I left.
Well,
I
Charlie.
left the W out.
Oh
Yo, how
God.
you rate a nigga who ain't home?
I
Oh
left
my
the
god.
Wrong
W out.
motherfucker.
Random person.
Mojo said 10 streamers to a dead
Ran into the wrong
stream.
motherfucker.
I'm gonna tell him go there.
Who who is the streamer that he sent him to?
Wolves. Did they go? No.
It looked like they still with us. Y'all still here? Type in the chat. Y'all still here?
Oh my god. They said?
I don't think so.
Y'all still here? In the
Nah.
comments? Comments.
Yo, industry. Oh man.